Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is story about what if Naruto met the Kyuubi slightly sooner and was trained part 1. Before I start, please do support for more amazing content and comments for part 2. Do consider to subscribe my channel and share my video to your friends and check out the description as well. Let's start the video. Naruto Uzumaki has never had an easy life. He has been on his own from the beginning, with an entire village tormenting and torturing him. Since the age of 4 he has been living on the streets, sleeping in alleys, and scrounging through garbage to try and get food. No one lets him into their stores, and no one lets him have any food in hopes of the demon curling up in the corner and dying. But he's never given up. He doesn't know why they hate him, or why no one cares about him. He's been living on the streets for 6 years now, and it's his 10th birthday, though he doesn't know it. He doesn't even know how old he is. After all, how would you learn when your birthday is, or how old you are if no one ever cared enough to tell you? Naruto isn't in the best situation. He's skinny unhealthily so. His white t-shirt with a red swirl on the back is torn and ripped up, and has blood stains all over it from his many beatings. His blue sweatpants are also torn and ripped all over, and have blood stains. His face is dirty, and so are his hands. His old scavenged pair of black shinobi sandals are tattered and falling apart. That's how people see Naruto, as he wanders the streets with no goal in mind except to try and tire himself out enough to pass out in an alley again. Being the day that it is, Naruto isn't going to get off so easy though. The beatings are always much worse and much more violent on this day, where mobs of villagers gang up on him to kill the demon. As they always do, the villagers work together and herd him into an alley that's a dead end, trapping him for his punishment, and they get to work on beating and torturing the boy for his 10th birthday. They kick and punch his frail form, some bringing knives and other weapons to stab and beat him. Naruto is curled up in a ball every kick, and every stab his vision slowly darkens. Why do they do this to me? What did I ever do to them? He asks himself over and over again, his confusion and anger as to why he is always attacked mounting until something in him snaps. Red chakra begins to swirl around him rapidly, scaring all the villagers back about 15 feet. Naruto slowly rises from ground and levels his burning, crimson eyes on them, further terrifying them. What did I ever do to deserve this? He yelled in a much deeper voice. He then ran straight at them, but didn't stop. He ran straight through the crowd, leaving a trail of blood behind him. He ran as far and as fast as he could, anywhere away from those villagers. He didn't know it, but he was being followed by someone, the Hokage himself. Naruto eventually found somewhere he would be safe, an empty dumpster in an alley. He climbed inside and closed it. The red chakra slowly faded and he passed out from blood loss and the built-up stress and confusion. Naruto slowly opened his eyes and looked at his surroundings. He was in a dark and dirty sewer. He looked around. The walls were covered in cracks and scratches. There were chunks of rock strewn about in the ankle-deep water. It smelled horrible, but Naruto was used to far worse and wasn't bothered. Naruto got up from the water and started walking. Great. Looks like they found me and threw me into some sewer. Guess I gotta try and find a way out. He looked up and noticed the ceiling was covered in pipes of 2 colors. Half the pipes were bright blue that looked like they were in good condition. The other half of the pipes were a dark red color, and they were cracked and dented all over. Inside some of the larger cracks a red glow was emanating from the pipes. Naruto decided to follow the pipes since they had to lead somewhere, right? After what felt like hours of walking, the pipes turned a corner and went into a room. Naruto followed them in and walked into a gigantic room. The red pipes branched to the right and went along the walls and then went back behind an extremely large cage door. The blue pipes branched left and went onto the left wall where they twisted and turned into a giant system of coils. Naruto went closer to the cage, and when he was about 50 feet from it he noticed the only thing keeping the cage shut was a piece of paper with the kanji 4 seal on it. Right as Naruto was about to turn and leave from the dead end and look elsewhere, 2 very large crimson eyes opened on the other side of the kage. They were huge and glowed red, and had slitted pupils. It caught Naruto off guard and he fell onto his backside. The eyes lowered down to about Naruto's level, and then a huge maw of shiny white fangs appeared below, pulled into a wicked grin. Naruto was more than a bit scarred and started scrambling backwards from the giant face, and then it laughed at him, which scared him more. What are you?" Naruto asked. It laughed again. "Before I tell you that, you have to come closer to this cage, and sit before me, and promise not to run." Naruto nodded dumbly, and slowly walked forwards. He stopped about 5 feet from the cage and sat down cross-legged on the floor. The fox mimicked him and laid its head on top of 2 very large paws that came into view. "So, you want to know who I am, right, kid?" "Why, yeah. And where the hell are we?" "Well, first we are in your mind, kid, and secondly, I, kid, am the Kyuubi." Naruto's eyes widened. "That's impossible. The Kyuubi was killed by the Yondaime." "Afraid not, kid. I am a bijou. We are far too powerful to be killed by mortals. The best they can do is seal us. In my case, I was sealed into you." Naruto was dumbstruck. "So then you're the reason everyone hates me?" Kyuubi frowned. "Yeah, I'm the reason those stupid bastards hate you. I'm sorry for the way they treat you. Even in the depths of hell, people aren't treated as badly as you've been." Naruto frowned. "So why am I here then?" "In my own mind." "Well, there are things we need to discuss. For one, I want you to become a shinobi, kid. I'm sick and tired of you getting beaten. I want you to go to the Hokage and ask to go to the academy." Naruto grinned. "Yeah. Then they won't be able to hurt me anymore." Kyuubi smiled. "Or as best as a fox can smile indeed, kid. And also it seems you somehow tapped into the seal earlier, and we can speak while you're conscious now. Using this I'm going to help you with your shinobi training, help you with chakra control and teach you history and other things. Cool, why do you keep calling me Kit though? I have a name you know. I see you as the child I never had, and since we are now bound until we die, I'm going to refer to you as my Kit, Kyuubi stated, smiling. Right, so, is there anything else we need to go over right now, or am I free to go? Kyuubi chuckled in a decidedly feminine way. No, you're free to go. I want you to go see the Hokage when you wake. Kyuubi then dismissed Naruto from the mindscape, and he slowly faded away. Naruto opened his eyes slowly, and was blinded by the bright lights all around him. Then a voice brought him into full awareness. Good to see you're finally awake, Naruto, the voice said. Naruto looked over to where the voice originated from, and there, standing at the foot of the bed he was on, was the Hokage himself. Hokage-sama, just the person I needed, Naruto yelled. Sarutobi smiled. Is that so? What would you need from me? I want to join the academy and become a shinobi, Naruto stated with a determined look in his eyes. Really now? And why would you want to do that? The Hokage asked, with pride in his voice. I want to join so I can protect myself from the bastards in this village and become powerful. Sarutobi frowned. He knew how his life was, but he couldn't help or it would be favoritism. Very well, Naruto. I'll enroll you today. Be there tomorrow when classes start. Naruto nodded. Arigato, Hokage-sama. Sarutobi then left to enroll Naruto into the academy. Naruto put on his clothes, with their fresh blood stains, and hopped out the window of the hospital. He went around town and eventually found the academy. So this is the academy. Guess I'll just hang around here till tomorrow. No point in doing anything else. Oh wait, Kyuubi, you there? Yes, Kit, I am. And you don't have to talk out loud for me to hear you. Just think it, and we can talk silently. Naruto nodded. Okay, so, are you gonna start teaching me today? Or what's gonna happen? No, I want you to get settled in the academy for a few days first, then I will start teaching you next week. Now I'm going back to sleep. Maybe you should find a place to sleep too. You still need more rest. I am still a bit tired, guess so. I'll find a bush near the academy to sleep in. Naruto found a place close to the academy and went to sleep for the night. He dreamed of being a powerful shinobi and having the respect of the whole village that night. The next morning Naruto woke up to the sound of a bell going off. He got up and walked towards the academy. Guess that means that classes are starting or something. He walked through the academy and headed to where he heard noise. Inside the classroom, Iruka Yumino was just getting the class settled and quiet to start the day when there was a knock on the door. He yelled, "Come in." The door slowly opened and a kid that didn't look good came in. His clothes were torn up and bloody and he was dirty. His blonde hair had bits of dirt and streaks of blood in it, and the kid was very thin looking. The kid looked at Iruka. Are you the instructor? Iruka looked at the boy. Yes, I am, Yumino Iruka. How can I help you? Naruto looked around at all the kids staring at him, and flinched slightly. Today is my first day here. Iruka frowned. You must be Naruto Uzumaki then, ne? Naruto shrugged. I guess that's me. I never heard that name Uzumaki before though. Iruka looked confused. How have you never heard your own surname before? Naruto looked down. I never get called by name in the village. I've only heard the Hokage call me Naruto, and no one has ever called me Uzumaki before. Iruka looked slightly irritated. All right then, why don't you introduce yourself to the class? Naruto looked confused. What should I say? Well, things you like, don't like, how old you are, when your birthday is, things like that. Naruto looked thoroughly confused. I like good food. I don't like mean people. I don't know how old I am and what's a birthday. Everyone in the class looked shocked at this. What the hell is with him? Iruka looked at Naruto's file. Well, Naruto, your file says that you're 10 years old, and that your birthday was yesterday, October 10th. Naruto cringed then smiled when he mentioned the day before, which did not go unnoticed by Iruka. Naruto, did something special happen yesterday? Naruto frowned. Special? No, not really. It wasn't too much worse than other days. I mean, I found someone who understands me, so I'm the happiest I've ever been, I guess. So overall, the day balanced out. Iruka shrugged off his statement. Okay then, pick a seat and get settled in. Naruto nodded and went up to the back of the room and sat down in the corner as far away from everyone else as possible. Iruka cleared his throat and began. Okay everyone, today we're going to be studying the history of Konoha. Most of the class awed or booed, but Naruto was very interested. This was his first chance to learn new things and he wanted to learn all he could. Before he knew it, Iruka had dismissed them all for recess and lunch. Naruto shuffled out the door and went over and sat under a tree away from all the other kids. He drew his knees up to his chest and rested his chin on his arms on top of his knees. Though, he wouldn't be left alone for too long. Soon enough a kid in a puffy gray jacket with a dog on his head came over and sat in front of him. Naruto looked at him confused. Hi, I'm Kiba. So you're the new kid, huh? Naruto nodded. Why yeah, I guess so. Kiba looked him up and down for a second before frowning. What's with the clothes? You look homeless with them on. Why don't you wear a different set? Naruto looked confused. Homeless? Kiba shook his head. Homeless? Yeah, you know when you don't got a place to live. Oh, well, I don't wear anything else because I don't have anything else. I'm as you said, homeless? Kiba looked shocked. Really? How long you been on your own? Naruto frowned. I don't know. Ever since I got kicked out of the orphanage. I think I was 4 then. Where do you sleep then? And who cooks food for you? Naruto shrugged slightly. I sleep where it seems safe. Cooks no one. It's not too bad though, I guess. Kiba frowned at him. If no one cooks for you, then what do you eat? Naruto shrugged again. Whatever I find. Kiba was shocked at his answer. How the hell does someone live with no house or food to eat? So, anyway, back to the clothes. Why are they so torn up and whose blood is all over them? Naruto pulled his shirt out and looked at it. It is pretty torn up, huh? And the blood is mine. Okay, so why is your clothes covered in blood then? Naruto mumbled. Villagers. Kiba's eyes widened in surprise. You're saying that villagers did all that to you? Well, some of it is from shinobi too, but they don't attack that often. What the hell? You've been attacked by shinobi? From where? Kiba yelled. Naruto looked confused at him. What do you mean? From here, of course. Kiba for his part looked furious. It's illegal for a shinobi to attack members of the village. His yell drew stares from everyone around. Naruto looked extremely nervous of all the stares. See, could you go? I kind of want to be alone for now, Naruto asked/pleaded. Kiba frowned at being told off, but left anyway. If he wanted to be alone, why should he care? Naruto was glad that Kiba kid left. He was making him really nervous. He put his head down and closed his eyes and concentrated on darkness. When he opened them again, he was in front of the Kyuubi's cage. He walked up to the cage and looked inside, but didn't see anything. Hey, Kyuubi, you there? He called. Right after he called, two red eyes snapped open in front of him, and a deep growl came from Kyuubi. Well, I was sleeping. What do you want? Kyuubi growled. Sorry, I was just bored, and since we have 2 hours of time, I figured we could talk or something until recess ends. Fine, we can plan what we're gonna have to do. First is we need to get you some new clothes, and a good supply of food. We also need to get you a place to live. Naruto frowned. But Kyuubi, those things take money. I don't have any. Kyuubi grinned in a very mischievous manner. Don't worry, I have an idea. Tonight we will get you some money to get the things you need, once stores start to close. I refuse to steal from people, Kyuubi. Naruto yelled. Good, because it's not stealing, I call it unique fundraising. Kyuubi laughed, in a very feminine manner, again. Kyuubi, what's with that laugh? You sound like a girl when you laugh like that. Kyuubi towered over Naruto. What's wrong with being a woman? She roared. Naruto stumbled back onto his backside. Why, you're a girl? He asked. So, do you have a problem with the most powerful being on earth being a woman? She roared again. Naruto stammered. And no. I just thought you were a guy is all, with the deep voice and all. Figures, a male thinks that only another guy can be all-powerful. That's not true. You just sounded like a guy. I have no problem with you being a woman. Good. Because if you did, tough shit, it's true. Now back to the plans. You're going to go through some stores and take their money. We need it to get clothes and food, and eventually a place to live. Naruto frowned at the idea of stealing. Fine, but I don't have to like it. Good boy, now get out of here. Your classmates are going back. And she then booted him back out into the real world, just in time to see the last kids leaving the field. He jumped up and ran to the building behind everyone else. Once inside, he went back up to his spot in the top corner. Iruka cleared his throat and began his lesson. Okay, we're going to start off with the Kyuubi incident 10 years ago. Naruto instantly snapped to full attention. He wanted to know every detail possible about the Kyuubi incident. 10 years ago yesterday, the Kyuubi attacked Konoha. No one ever found out why. But it does not really matter. All that matters is that it did attack. It went on a rampage outside the village, killing over half of the village's shinobi. Everyone in the village lost at least one friend or family member. Then the Yondaime came into the battle atop the head of the great toad summoned Gamabunta. The Yondaime sacrificed his life to kill the Kyuubi and win the fight. Naruto was downright confused. That's not true, he called out. Iruka was extremely surprised. Does he know? What do you mean, Naruto? The Kyuubi never died, he responded. Kyuubi noticed what he said. Kit. Shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Why Kyuubi? Naruto responded, more than slightly confused. You fool, do you want them to know you know about me? Oh crap, you're right, he responded. Iruka was extremely nervous, and everyone else in the room was very confused. Naruto, what are you talking about? Iruka asked. Shit, what do I say now? Aha, I know. I'm sorry, I must be thinking of something else. The Kyuubi was that fox, right? Iruka nodded. Yes, Kyuubi was a 9-tailed fox. Why? Naruto nodded. Oh, my bad, yeah, thinking of something else. Close one. You moron, you almost got us both nailed. Iruka looked very relieved. Good. He doesn't know. Right. Now back to the lesson. The rest of the day continued like that, with Iruka teaching various history lessons, most kids tuning it out, and Naruto soaking it up like a sponge. The bell rang and all the kids ran out of the building like a bunch of animals while Naruto just slowly got up and left. So, Kyuubi, how are we going to go stealing? I'm not exactly a master of stealth, and I have no tools. Actually, I'm going to have to train you slightly today, to mold your chakra, and one jutsu which should make this much easier. Sweet, so what do we do? Okay, first you have to tap into your chakra. To do so, you have a meditate. Look deep inside yourself and look for a source of power. You should see two, a blue one, and a red one. Do not touch the red one, that is my power, and you aren't ready for it. I think I see it. It's like a blue glow in my stomach. Good. That's it, Kit. Now imagine dragging that power throughout your body, and then out of your body. Naruto did just that. He concentrated on it, and his chakra flowed throughout his body, and then out of his body, basking him in an ethereal blue glow. Very good, Kit. You did that much faster than I was expecting you to. Now for the second part, you have to do some hand seals and bring forth your chakra and mold it correctly for this jutsu. I'm going to give you the hand seals in your mind. Practice them until you memorize them. Naruto did as instructed and practiced the signs until he could do them without any trouble at all. You're doing very well, Kit. Now is the hard part. You have to mold your chakra to your hands and imagine a giant bubble forming in front of you. This jutsu is a sound sealing jutsu. It will trap any and all sound within a given area via a dome of chakra. Naruto practiced the ending of the jutsu for hours. Right at sundown he finally got it. Hibiki Kouchisho no Jutsu. A large shimmering dome about 15 feet tall and 20 feet wide formed in front of him. Sweet, I did it! He yelled. Congratulations, Kit. I knew you'd be a quick learner. But remember, think your words, don't actually speak them. Right, sorry Kyuubi. So what now? Kyuubi grinned in his mind. Now that it's dark out, we find a secluded store with no one around. You cast the jutsu on the building, break the window and rob them blind as fast as possible. Don't steal any merchandise because that could be traced back to you if you use it. But if you take the money from the register, then you're good to go. Okay, here we go. Naruto went through the town scoping out stores. He finally found the perfect one, off in the edge of the village. It wasn't near any other stores or private houses, and it had big front display windows. Naruto crept up to the building and cast the soundproofing jutsu over the windows in front of the building. He then picked up a rock and tossed it through the window. He watched in fascination as the window tumbled to the floor in a shower of crystalline fragments without making a sound. Quick, get in there and grab all the money you can. We don't have long before you have to get out of here, Kit. Naruto jumped up through the window and ran across the store. He found the register and started to break into it with various things laying around. He finally succeeded in breaking the drawer free and wrenched it open. He grabbed all the money he could from it and went looking for more. In the back of the store he found a large safe. Damn, looks like I'll have to teach you a way to break into safes if we're going to have to keep doing this to survive. For now, get out of here. Tomorrow we will try and get you some clothes and food. You got a good amount of money from this place. More than enough to last for a while. Naruto jumped back out of the window and ran from the store as fast as possible, letting his jutsu fade as he ran away. He then found a quiet place to sleep, and did just that. The next morning Naruto woke at the crack of dawn with a little mental poking from Kyuubi. Ugh, why did you wake me so early, Kyuubi? Because most of the shops are open, and you need some clothes, then some food. And if we don't do it early you'll be late to the academy. Now get a move on it. Naruto spent a while going from store to store, getting kicked out of everyone before finally coming to a store that looked like it was made just for shinobis. The sign out front read Kurosuk Weaponry and Apparel. Naruto shrugged and figured he'd give one more shop a chance before giving up. He walked through the door, which gave a light jingle from a bell on the door. A man that had his back turned to him started speaking. Welcome to Kurosuke's. How can I help you today? He then turned around and saw Naruto, or more accurately saw who he was. It's you. I finally get to meet this infamous demon now? Naruto frowned. Figures just another mean person. He turned and started to leave the store. But before he could grab the handle, two large hands grabbed his shoulders and pulled him back into the store. He instantly started to freak out. Please don't hurt me. I'll leave. I'm sorry for coming in, he yelled. Then suddenly the hands spun him around, and there was the man, crouched to eye level, staring into his eyes, his cold, hurt eyes. You don't look like a demon to me. You look like a hurt child to me, the man said. Naruto didn't trust the man. People had said that to him before, and then stabbed him in the back, literally. Can I please leave? He pleaded. No, was the flat reply from the owner. Those clothes of yours are horrible, and you're not leaving until you get new ones. Naruto got a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Are really? He asked. Yes, really. Now go ahead and pick out anything you want, then bring it over to me when you're finished. Naruto went around the store looking through all the different styles of clothes and different pieces of shinobi gear they had. He eventually picked out a whole new set of clothes. He got new sandals, a new shirt, a jacket, pants, belt, everything. He brought all the stuff over to Kurosuke like he asked him to. Kurosuke looked over the clothes he picked out. You're training to be a shinobi, right? Naruto nodded. Well, you're going to need some of these then, he said while bringing out a kunai and a shuriken. Naruto's eyes widened at the presence of the blade and he started to back away from the counter. Kurosuke frowned. Stop, I'm not going to hurt you. You need some of these kunai and shuriken if you want to be a shinobi. Naruto nodded. Good. I'm going to give you a set of 20 kunai and 35 shuriken then, he said while bringing out rolls of kunai and stacks of shuriken. Naruto looked at all the stuff in front of him. I hope we have enough, mister. How much do I owe you for all this stuff? Kurosuke looked at all the stuff and then at Naruto. Dirty and covered in blood. You know, kid, I know who you are, and I don't see you the way the others do. I think you're a hero for what you've done for this village. Tell you what, if you promise to come back to me for all your other stuff in the future, this stuff here is on the house. How's that sound? Naruto almost fell over from what he just heard. Really? Yes, really? So do we have a deal? He asked while smiling. Why, yeah. Naruto yelled. Good, now, go into the dressing room in the back and change into these. I won't let you wear those rags 1 second longer. Naruto nodded and went into the back of the store and changed into his new set of clothes. It felt good. No, it felt great. His old clothes were itchy and annoying, but these felt great. Naruto stepped out of the dressing room and Kurosuke smiled at him. Now you look like a true shinobi, kid. Naruto smiled. Thanks, I guess I'll see you around, huh? He asked. Yeah, but before you go, what's your name? Naruto. Naruto Uzumaki, Naruto answered. Kurosuke smiled. Well, it was a pleasure doing business with you, Naruto. I'll see you later. Naruto left the store and headed towards the academy. He looked at his new watch and noticed he still had about 45 minutes until school starts. so he could get some food for the first time in a few days. He walked by a stand and smelled something amazing. That smells amazing. Maybe they will let me have some. Naruto walked into under the curtain of Ichiraku Ramen and sat at the bar. Excuse me, do you think I could get some food? He asked. The man in the back poked his head out. He was an older man who looked to be in his mid-50s. He looked at Naruto, and immediately knew who he was. I was waiting for the day you would finally come to my establishment, the man said. Naruto frowned. Does that mean you want me to leave? Now it was the man's turn to frown. No. My daughter and myself are some of the few people of the village who believe you are a hero for what you've done. I would be honored if you ate here. My name is Tsuchi, by the way, and my daughter is Ayam. Naruto smiled. What was his luck to find 3 of the only people in the village who liked him? So what kind of food do you serve here? It smells fantastic. Tsuchi smiled. Here at Ichiraku's we serve the best ramen in all of Konoha. Ramen, huh? Do you have anything that's like a deluxe meal with like everything? Tsuchi's smile grew. Do we ever? The ramen supreme. It's our healthiest ramen. It's filled with vegetables, beef and anything else the body needs. It's filled with nutrients and vital minerals the body needs. Naruto was drooling all over the place. That sounded fantastic. I'll take as much of it as you can make for the next 30 minutes. 30 minutes later Naruto had cleared through 8 bowls of the ramen supreme, and he never felt better in his life. Thank you so much, Tsuchi-san. That was the best food I've ever had. How much do I owe you? I really have to get going to the academy. Tsuchi smiled at him. Tell you what, you come back here later for dinner, and this one's on the house. What is it? Give free stuff to Naruto Day. If so, let it stay today forever. Deal. I will definitely be back later. Naruto got up and ran off to the academy to start another day of learning. But now he had a very full and very happy stomach and a fresh new set of clothes. But he did still need a bath. Naruto arrived at the academy right as the last kids had gotten inside. Naruto walked into the room and went up to his seat in the corner, stunning everyone in the room, leaving them all with the same thoughts of wow. Is that the same kid that was in rags yesterday? Naruto was now decked out in black shinobi sandals, which the top of was covered with his new pants, jet black cargo pants with a crimson dragon wrapped around the left leg. On the right and left thigh of the pants were black kunai and shuriken holsters. Further up he had a net shirt. Over the shirt he was wearing a black jacket with red flames going from the shoulders down the arms, where they looped around the wrists. On the back of the jacket was a blood-red fox head. The whole front of the jacket had pockets and pouches all over it. Around his waist he had a utility belt with pouches hanging off of it, totaling 8 pouches, though they were all empty for the time being. The morning went by without incident, with Irika teaching more about Konoha's history and shinobi history. It was time for lunch before Naruto knew it. He went outside with everyone else and sat under the same tree he did the day earlier. And same as yesterday, Kyuubi came over and sat with him again. Yo, he said with a little wave as he sat down. Hey, Naruto responded. So, those are some pretty nice threads you got. Thought you said you were homeless? Naruto nodded. I am. I found a store yesterday who would sell things to me, and he gave me all this stuff for free if I promised to come back to him for the rest of my stuff in the future. Sweet, sounds like you got some good luck then, huh? You're telling me. I found a restaurant that lets me in this morning too. Now I just have to make enough money to be able to eat regularly. So how you gonna make money then? Shit, I can't tell him I steal it, right? Doing a couple little things around the village here and there. Cool, man, sounds like your life is improving a bit, eh? Yeah, I suppose it is. Now I just need to try and get a place to live. Speaking of that, Kit, this week every night after school I'm going to train you a bit. If we plan on getting an apartment we're gonna need more money than we have now. K, so, what, you don't have any food for lunch? Kyuubi asked. Nah, but I'm alright, I'm used to going for days, sometimes even a week or so without food, so lunch is no big deal. Kyuubi gasped slightly. Days, weeks? I'd die if I didn't eat 3 times a day at least. Naruto chuckled darkly. Ha ha ha. You would be amazed at what the human body gets used to. Things like hunger and pain have no meaning to people like me. It's an advantage, being able to turn off feelings like those. Kyuubi shivered at the thought of what one would have to endure to be unaffected by pain, but was brought out of his thoughts by a question from Naruto. Kyuubi, do you know what I am? Kyuubi cocked his head. Huh? What do you mean, do I know what you are? It seems the kids don't know of you, Kyuubi. Never mind, Kyuubi. I was just wondering something. Alright, well, I'll see round, Naruto. I'm gonna hang with my other friends now, he said while getting up. He then turned and walked off towards a group of about 4 other boys, who instantly started asking him questions once he got close enough. So, what's he like? One kid asked. Kyuubi shrugged. He's odd, he is distant from life, and from what he said he's been homeless since he was 4. Anything else? Another kid asked. Why yeah, he asked me if I knew what he was, which really freaked me out. What he was? I'm gonna ask my parents about him tonight. Everybody nodded, planning on doing the same thing with their parents. The rest of the day went by quickly and eventlessly. Naruto was the last one to leave again. So Kyuubi, what are you teaching me today? Glad you asked, Kit. First head to a very secluded area that has a tree in it. Naruto ran off to the least used training ground he knew of. He eventually arrived about 20 minutes later. Okay, we're going to be working on your chakra control for a few days. It will make breaking into stores much easier with the things we're going to be doing. Okay, so what are we doing today then? Today you're going to be climbing trees using chakra. The way to do it is you focus your chakra to the soles of your feet, and then walk up the side of the tree sticking to is using your chakra. I find the easiest way to start off is to place one foot on the tree, then channel your chakra to it until you feel it stick. Then bring up your other foot, and continuing slowly step by step. That doesn't sound too hard, I'll give it a shot. Naruto went up to the tree and placed one foot on the tree and started channeling chakra to it. He felt his foot glued to the tree and lifted his other leg off the ground to the tree. He put his foot on the trunk and started to channel chakra to it as well, and lost his hold and smacked onto the ground on the back of his head. Ouch, he groaned while he leaned up and rubbed his head. Ah, Kit, that was hilarious. But don't be discouraged, this trick takes a long time to get. I have confidence in you. Thanks, Kyuubi. He got up and continued practicing the tree climbing exercise. A few hours later, Kyuubi stopped him to go get some dinner, and he had already gotten over halfway up the tree. Naruto walked into Ichiraku's stand and took a seat at the bar. Good evening, he called. Tsuchi popped his head around the corner and smiled. I was wondering when you'd come around again. What can I get you tonight? Naruto tapped his chin and thought, I think I'll have 4 bowls of that ramen supreme I had earlier. It really does have everything the body needs, which is what I need. Tsuchi chuckled. Alright then, it will be up in a few minutes. Hey, I am. Come meet our new customer. A girl came in from the back. She looked to be about 4 years older than Naruto. She had long brown hair that went down just past her shoulders. Well, hello. If it isn't the hero of Konoha, she said while smiling warmly. Naruto blushed slightly. I didn't actually do anything. I was just born at the wrong time. I bopped him on the head lightly. Nonsense. You keep the whole village safe with what you do. Tsuchi walked in with Naruto's food. It's true, you know. If it wasn't for you, the whole village would have been destroyed. Here's your food. Naruto grunted and took up his chopsticks. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened to Konoha if Kyuubi never was sealed in me. Nothing. Wait, what? Nothing would have happened to the great Konoha. I never wanted to attack the stupid village. I was heading south and was going to go around the village when the morons started to attack me. I just defended myself. Now look where we both are. Both lives ruined over a misunderstanding. Ha ha ha. Naruto sighed. Fucking idiots. He had been sitting there staring at nothing for about 45 seconds. So this random statement caught Tsuchi and I off guard. Am you okay? I asked. Yeah, I'm fine. Why? Well, you were just staring at nothing, and then just said fucking idiots out of nowhere, she said. I said that out loud? Crap. Damn it, I did it again. Fuck. Now I and Tsuchi were both eyeing him strangely. I'm okay. Just thinking about something. He then went back to burning through his bowls of ramen. When he finished eating, he set out some money for the food and got up. Thanks again for the food. It really is the best food I've ever had. Naruto turned and left the restaurant, and headed off to his newfound favorite spot to sleep. The next morning, Naruto walked into the academy like the past few days, except now everyone parted from his path and moved away from his seat in the corner. Further, it seems as if they found out, and this was true. The kids had gone home to ask about the enigma that was Naruto Uzumaki. Their parents told them nothing except that he was dangerous, and to stay away from him. They trusted their parents, and did as instructed, and stayed as far from him as possible. No one came to talk to him at lunch that day. Was only a matter of time before they learned, ignorant fools. The rest of the week followed this new trend, with all the other kids shunning away from Naruto. After school, he would go to his hidden training ground and work on his chakra control. By the end of the week, he was able to easily bound up and down the trees, jumping from tree to tree. Kyuubi, what is the purpose of improving my chakra control? I can see it being useful, but shouldn't this be used later, like when I know more jutsus? Kit, do you really think I would have you learn something in vain? This training will help you in many ways. Really? And just how is that? First, you can use your chakra to sneak into and away from places now, such as climb along the walls and ceilings like a spider. And with the training I'm starting you on today, it will allow you to do even more, such as cut through the strongest of materials, which is something almost no one else will be able to do. Cool, but why will almost no one else be able to cut through things like me? Because Kit, your chakra reserves are unmatched. Even at this age and stage of training, you have the chakra levels much higher than most jounins. And this technique burns more chakra than most shinobi can spare. Good to know others won't be able to copy it. So how does it work? It's fairly simple really, and incredibly ingenious. You focus chakra to your hands, similar to the tree climbing, except now you concentrate the whole flow to the tips of your 4 and middle fingers, and force it out in a concentrated beam. The intense force and heat of the chakra being expelled can cut through the thickest of steels like this. But this type of thing is useless against items infused with chakra, like explosive notes, or chakra strings. Try it out on that tree. Try carving something into it. Naruto nodded. It sounded simple enough, right? He walked up to the tree and brought his hand up in front of him and started focusing chakra to his hand, which started to glow bright blue. He then concentrated it to his 4 and middle fingers and forced it out. It came out as a beam about 1 inch away from his fingers. It's a little small, it will get longer with practice. Now try it out. Naruto leaned on the tree with his off hand and started engraving into the bark. Smoke rose from the bark as it was incinerated by the chakra and turned to ash, leaving a burnt trail behind his fingers. He finished his engraving and pulled away, revealing a fox in a lunging position. 9 tails fanned out behind it. Very nice, Kit. Announce that you're aware of me, why don't you? On your own personal training ground. Ah fuck, he grumbled. He then placed his palm over the picture and forced a layer of chakra out of his entire palm, burning the whole image to ash. Nice work, Kit. Looks like that could be used in combat to burn your enemies. Right, so anything else to do today? For today I want you to keep practicing cutting things and burning things with your hands. Also get used to using your hands on the trees to climb them as well. It will be much more useful to climb walls on all fours than just your feet. Tomorrow we will begin training your body. With taijutsu and heavy training, we are going to turn that frail body of yours into a powerhouse by the time you graduate the academy. Okay, sounds good. You gonna teach me some more jutsus too? No. I will not teach you any more jutsus until after you become a genin. We are going to train your body, mind and chakra control until then. K, you're the boss, Q-chan. That's how things went for the rest of Naruto's time in the academy. Training every day after school and robbing stores when they ran out of money, he went around town casing stores from time to time to train his stealth skills. In school he maintained a look of low skill, making sure to look like a weak kid that didn't know anything. He adopted a mask of stupidity and happiness, pulling pranks from time to time to keep his act up. It's the day of graduation at the academy. Naruto is 12 years old now and has changed a lot since when he first joined. He is no longer the thin, bony child he started as. He also grew a lot now that he was always eating and gets all his nutrients. He isn't the dwarf he started out as. He stands at a solid 5 feet 3 inches, which is pretty tall for his age. And although his clothes hid it, all his efforts over the past 2 years were not in vain. He now sports a very toned body, with a full six-pack and big arms and powerful legs. Iruka took his place before the classroom and cleared his throat to gain their attention. Today is the day of examinations. We will call you in by name into the next room over where we will test your skills. Good luck. He and Mizuki walked off into the side room. A moment later Iruka stuck his head out of the room and called Shino Aburame. Please come take your examination. For the love of God, it's alphabetical? Naruto yelled out, keeping up his idiotic mask, but in truth he was pissed. So the dope actually knows his alphabets. Never would have guessed, Sasuke said. Stuff it, team. I'm not in the mood for your shit today. Naruto then put his head down on his arms and went to sleep as he often pretended to do in class. In actuality he just started meditate to pass the time. Thankfully it worked, and before he knew it his name was called Naruto Uzumaki. Come take your examination. Naruto got up from his seat sleepily and walked off towards the exam room, dragging his feet the whole way. Good luck, Dobe. You'll need it, Sasuke called behind him. Sasuke had just come back right before him, with his new Hittite. Naruto ignored the jab and walked on, into the exam room and before the two teachers. Okay Naruto, let's get this over with. To start with, kawari me into something from this room, Iruka said. Naruto frowned. Really? Is that it? It's too hard though. He pouted. He decided to get it over with as fast as possible. He hated acting. He didn't even bother with hand seals, but in puff of smoke he was replaced with a textbook from a desk. Iruka continued. Next I want you to henge into something famous in the village. Naruto tapped his chin and thought for a second before nodding. Just how famous can it be? And does size have to be perfect? Because I'll need to change to scale a little for the room. Iruka looked confused. As famous as you can think of, and if size is a problem then I suppose you can scale it to work. Naruto nodded. Sweet. And again, without hand seals, his chakra control kicks ass now. After 2 years of training, low-level jutsus are extremely easy for him, and disappeared in a poof of smoke. When the smoke cleared there stood a miniature Kyuubi, in all its glory, 9 tails fanned out behind waving around happily. It wasn't too miniature, being larger than a horse. Iruka and Mizuki both freaked slightly, considering who it was that turned into the fox. Naruto, why did you turn into the Kyuubi of all things? Naruto poofed back into his normal shape and shrugged. No, Kyuubi just always stuck out as being really cool and powerful looking, and definitely has to be the most famous being in Konoha's history. After they got over the shock of seeing the Kyuubi, Iruka continued. Alright Naruto, finally I want you to create between 2 to 5 bunshins. Naruto frowned. Man, I hate bunshins, they're so useless. Whatever. And once again without using any seals 4 bunshins popped into existence around him. All 5 Narutos took a bow before the clones dispelled. Iruka frowned. He really didn't think the kid had what it took to pass. Congratulations Naruto, here is your Hittite. I must say, you surprised me. Naruto took the Hittite and rolled his eyes. Thanks for the confidence boost. He turned on the spot and walked back into the classroom with the headband in his hand. After he took his seat he put the Hittite on his desk and looked at it. This blue band is so ugly, I'm going to have to get some black cloth to put it on. His inner ranting was interrupted when Iruka and Mizuki came back into the room, and Iruka started a speech about how he was proud to have taught them and to have been the one to bring them into the life of a shinobi. Naruto tuned most of it out except for the ending, where they were told that they would be assigned teams and a jounin instructor tomorrow. Kit, as congratulations for becoming a genin, I'm going to teach you a jutsu that is going to help you train extremely fast and very effectively. Naruto was hooked by the time Kyuubi said teach. Every time Kyuubi taught him something, it was either very important or very cool. Sweet. So, what is it, and how's it gonna help me train? The jutsu is the Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. What's great about it is that the clones are solid entities and can attack or be attacked, meaning you can spar with them. But that's not the best part. When the clones are dispelled, all the knowledge or memories the clones gained are returned to the creator. So if you were training your chakra control alongside 100 clones, you would gain 100 times the experience in the same time. But with your chakra reserves you could be training with about 1,000 clones at a time. You could learn years upon years worth of training and knowledge in no time at all. Naruto was flabbergasted at the idea, learning 1,000 times faster than normal? In one day with 1,000 clones he could accomplish 3 years of training. It was phenomenal. Q-chan, you're a diabolical genius. I can become so powerful now. Imagine if I trained for 1 solid year like that, 1,000 years of training and practice. And also I could use this by sending clones to the library and such to read all the time, further increasing my knowledge on important subjects like sealing or styles of taijutsu to try and such. Kyuubi smiled warmly from behind the bars of her cage. Indeed, Kit, the possibilities are endless. You could easily surpass all those who have ever come before you like this, and with my guidance you will surely become the most powerful person in the world. I have no doubt in my mind. After they finished their conversation about the possibilities with this newly revealed training method, Naruto ran out to his private training field where Kyuubi showed him the needed seals and the relative chakra needed to make the relative amount of clones. After about 20 minutes of practicing the hand seals and chakra flow, Naruto was confident he had it down, so he felt he should give it a try. Kaige Bunshin no Jutsu. He yelled, and forced a lot of chakra into the jutsu, and the field was covered in smoke. A moment later a light evening breeze blew the cloud away, revealing well over 500 Narutos crowded in the field. Another special talent is the shadow clones are sentient, as they have a bit of your chakra and soul inside them. They can think their own thoughts and respond to people asking them things. They can also use jutsu so long as they have the required chakra. Why not have about 10 clones henge into random people and send them to the library to study until it closes, then split up the rest to do the rest of your chakra control exercises? Naruto mentally nodded. Good idea, Kyo-chan. He did as she suggested, sending 10 clones to the library to study different things, ranging from taijutsu to fuinjutsu. He split up the remaining clones to do all his various chakra control exercises. Tree climbing, water walking, kunai balancing, and focusing chakra to his fingers to cut/burn things. He had all the clones do all the exercises until he went to sleep, while he did physical exercise the whole time, since one of the few things the clones couldn't help with was his physical training, though they could train him for taijutsu and kenjutsu, because they were based on instincts and memories, which the clones did transfer. Later on at night he suddenly got a slight headache as he felt a huge inflow of knowledge from all the things the clones at the library had read. I guess the library just closed, that stung a bit. Yes, that is the one downside to this training kit. If you dispel too many clones at once, it will either give you a huge headache, or it will overload your brain with new information and make you pass out. I suggest you have the clones dispel in groups of about 5 to 20 clones every minute or 2 while you're asleep. That way the new knowledge gets filed away in your brain without overloading you. Sounds like a good idea, Kyo-chan. I think I'm going to go to sleep a little early today. One of the clones at the library reads something of a secondary test being given by the Jounin senseis, and I want to be ready for anything. Naruto gave out a mental command to the clones telling them to dispel in groups after he went to sleep, and then left for his new apartment to sleep. Naruto woke up the next morning feeling great. He never had such control of his chakra in his life. It was as if his chakra was bending to his every will following the slightest mental command instantly. He was very pleased with the efforts of his training, and while walking to the academy he searched through the knowledge his clones from the library gained. The things he learned without even having to do anything, it was amazing. In one afternoon of training he learned as much as he would have from a solid week of reading and studying, and over a year's worth of chakra control training. Naruto left his body on autopilot to get to the academy and sit while he mused over his newfound knowledge of seals and kenjutsu. He definitely wanted to take up the art of sword fighting. The art of fighting with the zanbato really drew his attention and he definitely wanted to learn it. Now he just needed to get a hold of a good zanbato. Iruka took his place before the classroom as usual and cleared his throat to get everyone's attention. I'm very proud of you all today. We started this class 2 years ago with over 50 students, and now only 27 of you remain. I am very proud of you all, and I'm sure you will go on to make great shinobi. Today we are assigning you all teams and your senseis. Team 1. Iruka continued to rattle off teams and their senseis, with Naruto tuning it out while waiting to hear his name. Team 7 will consist of Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno, and Uchiha Sasuke. Damn it, 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 Naruto chanted as he smashed his head into his desk. The unnerving thing about it was with each smash of his head the desk cracked a little. When he finished there was a very noticeable head-shaped indent in the top of the desk. The damn emo why? And his top fangirl too. He finished the end in his mind since the class believed he had a crush on Sakura, as part of his happy-go-lucky mask. During his head smashing and ranting he didn't hear the multiple calls of Iruka. Naruto! He screamed, finally getting his attention. Huh, what? He answered, lifting his head from his desk, revealing a blood stain on the desk and a small stream of blood running from his forehead down to his chin. I said your Jounin sensei will be Hatake Kakashi. You should go to the nurse, your head's bleeding pretty heavily. Naruto looked down at the small pool of blood on his desk from the blood dripping off his chin, and grinned sheepishly. Whoopsie, nah, I'll be alright. Iruka shook his head at the moron. He's gonna be lightheaded from blood loss, right? Team 8 is. He continued to call out the teams and their senseis, and once he finally finished he announced your Jounin senseis should be here shortly to pick you up. Good luck in your shinobi careers. Iruka then walked out of the door without looking back at the kids. It had been 2 hours since Iruka had left, and about an hour and a half since every other student had left with their senseis, but not Team 7, They sat there waiting for their lazy sensei. During this time of boredom, Naruto had come to the decision that now that he was out of the academy, he was going to ditch the mask of stupidity and weakness. There was no need to give everyone in the world a handicap by using a mask of weakness and ineptitude. Finally, the door at the base of the room opened and a man walked in. He wore standard jounin gear, with blue shinobi pants and a green jounin vest over his chest. His face was covered from the nose down with a face mask, and his left eye was covered by his sagging height. Overall, the man carried himself like the lazy son of a bitch he had so far shown himself to be. The second he was in the room, Sakura screeched at full volume, "Sensei, you're 2 hours late." Sasuke ignored her screeching, and Naruto flinched at the high volume, as did Kakashi. "My first impression, I hate you. Meet me on the roof in 5 minutes." Kakashi then disappeared in a puff of smoke. Naruto got up from his seat and strolled out of the room, completely ignoring his two teammates. Once outside, he walked up the side of the academy before his teammates got outside. Naruto's entrance startled Kakashi as he did not come from the direction of the stairs, and the academy was 3 stories tall, and he doubted any genin could jump that high. Kakashi decided to voice his opinion. "So how did you get up here if you didn't take the stairs?" Naruto smirked. "A good shinobi never reveals his secrets." A moment after that, Sasuke and Sakura appeared on the roof, coming from the stairs, halting Kakashi from questioning Naruto further. "Right, so, let's get to know each other for a bit. Tell me your name, likes, dislikes, hobbies, dreams, aspirations, whatever." Sakura raised her hand. "Why don't you go first, sensei? We don't know anything about you after all." Kakashi nodded. "All right, my name is Hatake Kakashi. I have many likes and many dislikes. My hobbies and dreams are mine alone." Sakura face vaulted. "All you told us was your name, and we knew it already." Kakashi shrugged. "You go now, Pinky." Sakura fumed at the nickname, while Naruto snickered at her misfortune. "My name is Sakura Haruno. I like looks at Sasuke and giggles. I don't like Inopig or Naruto Baka. My dream is looks at Sasuke and giggles again." "Great, a fangirl, all right. You're next, broody," Kakashi said, pointing to Sasuke. "TCH, name's Sasuke Uchiha. I have no likes and many dislikes. My ambition is to kill a certain man and restore my clan. A broody, emotional avenger." "Oh joy, and now you, blondie," Kakashi said, pointing at Naruto. "Name's Naruto Uzumaki. At least that's what I'm told. I like training and my one friend. I despise those who judge someone based on hearsay rather than facts. My ambition, no, my future is to become the strongest being on this earth, with the help of my friend." I wasn't aware that he had any friends. "Very well, it's too late to do anything today, so meet me at Training Ground 7 tomorrow at 8. We're going to do some survival training." "But Kakashi-sensei, we already did survival training in the academy," Sakura protested. "That may be true, but this is a test to see if you are prepared to become a shinobi of Konoha. In the academy you were tested if you were capable of being a shinobi. Now comes the real test, and unless you like vomiting, don't eat breakfast." Naruto broke into an evil grin. "I knew there would be a second test. I'm going to send a bunch of clones to the library to see if I can't discover the goal of the tests, though I have an idea of what it's going to be about." "Really now, what do you think it's going to be about, Kit?" "I think it's going to involve something about seeing how we work together as a team. If it is, we're so fucked. These fools will only work with me if I force them to. Wait, maybe I can scare them into it." "And how do you plan to scare these two into working with you?" "If I remember correctly, the Uchiha thinks you're weak and worthless, and the girl will follow the Uchiha straight off of a cliff." Naruto chuckled darkly. "You mind if I borrow some of your killing intent tomorrow?" Oh, that is mean, Kit, and you most definitely can." Naruto created 15 Kage Bunshins and sent them to the library under Hinges to study and look up about the secondary exams. Once he got to his private training ground, he created another batch of about 500 clones and sent them to work on everything else again, while he went and exercised more. That night Naruto passed out in the field, after accidentally making all of his Bunshins dispel at once. Due to a misunderstanding, the overload from the knowledge forced him to instantly pass out from the mental overload. He woke up the next morning and looked at his watch, 9:30. "Shit, I'm an hour and a half late." He then took off towards Training Ground 7 while forcing chakra to his legs to get there even faster. He arrived there alright. He flew up to the bridge as a black and red blur, right up to where Sasuke and Sakura were standing. "Naruto Baka, you're an hour and a half late. What the hell are you doing?" Sakura screeched. "Can it Banshee, where is Kakashi?" Naruto's reply caught both Sakura and Sasuke off guard, because the normally happy-go-lucky inflection in his voice was gone, leaving it a cold, penetrating voice, and the words spoken. Naruto was always head over heels for Sakura-chan. "TCH, Kakashi-sensei isn't here yet. He's late again." Sasuke wanted to ask Naruto what was up with the change, but he couldn't bear to hurt his emo ego. But Sakura was more than willing to bring it up. "Hey, Naruto Baka, what's with the cold attitude? Do I need to get Sasuke-kun to kick your ass or something?" Her Sasuke-kun would always be there to save her, because that's what kunoichi are for, to be the damsel in distress, right? "Sakura, one more time, shut up and leave me be. I very highly doubt Sasuke could give two shits about what you want, or have to say, but since you're so intent on getting me to talk to you, I will tell you something about this test. I'm almost positive that this test is to see how well we can work as a team, and I'll be damned if I let either of you keep me from being a shinobi just because you want work with me." Sakura scoffed. "You're just a baka, Naruto. Like a loser, like you could ever figure out the meaning of the test before Sasuke-kun or myself. Sasuke nodded in agreement with her, like the dope could ever get something before the prodigal genius. Naruto was fed up with their snobbish attitudes and down talking to him. He grabbed Sakura by the throat and unleashed a concentrated wave of the Kyuubi's killing intent. Sakura's eyes widened in complete and utter fear, as she saw her own death play out before her eyes. Neither her nor Sasuke could move, rooted in place by fear. Naruto growled deeply while he held Sakura off the ground by her throat. Stop calling me a baka. When it comes down to it, in this exam, if I have to, I will force you to work with me. Don't think you know so much about me, or my life. Because you know nothing. The fool you knew at the academy was a fake. So shut your mouth, and stop assuming you know everything and that you're the best. Naruto then dropped Sakura on her ass and let off on the killing intent. As soon as she could, she scrambled backwards on her hands as far from Naruto as possible and cowered in the fetal position at the end of the bridge. Sasuke had a stunned look on his face as he tried to catch his breath. That was the scene Kakashi came upon when he greeted his team. Sasuke sitting on the ground with a stunned/scared look on his face, breathing heavily, Sakura curled up in a ball at the end of the bridge sobbing, and Naruto leaning calmly against a pillar with an annoyed look on his face. Kakashi, you're late again. That is not a good habit for a shinobi of your rank to partake in, Naruto stated, in his new cold penetrating voice. Kakashi shook his head at the genin's change. Granted, yesterday he wasn't bubbly and cheery, but he had emotion in his voice, and his eyes didn't look like they pierced through your soul and would tear it from your body if given the chance. Mind telling me what happened to your teammates, Naruto? Kakashi asked, since Naruto was the only one not seemingly affected by whatever disturbed the other two. Naruto shrugged. Nothing much, just gave them a little lesson about looking underneath the underneath, and to not assume you know all you can about someone based on past experience. Kakashi frowned and his one visible eye glared at Naruto. What did you do to them? Sakura is in a ball crying, and Sasuke is not too good either. Naruto grinned, evilly. Nothing, just used a small bit of killing intent, and a threat to Sakura if she keeps insulting me. Kakashi sighed. The test is off for today. We will do it tomorrow, or as soon as Sakura is stable again. And I think you and I need to have a chat later, Naruto. He then walked over to Sakura and picked her up gently, which she flinched violently when he touched her, and carried her off to the hospital's psyche ward. Kit, you overdid it. You were supposed to scare the girl, not damage her mind. Not everyone is as tolerant to things as you are. You could have warned me, Kyu-chan. I've never tried using killing intent before, so I just used everything you gave me. This is not good, Kit. I gave you access to almost all of my killing intent. I never thought you would use it all on an untrained 12-year-old girl. Her mind might be significantly damaged. It seems that until your exam we are going to train you, and part of your new training will be harnessing your killing intent and using it properly. Naruto sighed and left the bridge. No use crying over spilled milk, right? Milk, killing intent, same difference, right? Well, we can't do any Kage Bunshin training till Kakashi comes around. We don't want him being clued into our techniques. So I'm just going to physically train, and that's what he did. He trained his body until Kakashi showed up about 4 hours later, looking extremely angry. Congratulations, Naruto. Your little lesson put the poor girl in the ICU for mental trauma. They tell me it will be at least 5 days until she can be reinstated, and she will probably fear you for life now. Naruto did his best to look sorry about it. My bad. But if she would have just listened to me like I asked and stopped insulting me, then nothing would have happened. Kakashi glared at him harshly. My bad. My bad. You put your teammate in a mental ward of the hospital on your first day as a team, and all you can say is my bad. Come with me, Naruto. We have to go talk to the Hokage to discuss your punishment. The only word that summed up Naruto's thoughts at that moment was the one and only word he spoke: fuck. Kakashi and Naruto were sitting before the Hokage, with Naruto looking less than comfortable at being there. Tell me, Kakashi, why are you and Naruto here, and what is so urgent about it? Sarutobi asked. He was a busy man after all, paperwork to sign, porn to read, the list goes on. Excuse us, Hokage-sama, but we need to discuss Naruto's social skills, and the way he deals with teammates specifically, Kakashi replied, getting straight to the point. Sarutobi frowned. Naruto had been here before during the academy. When he pulled pranks, the Hokage didn't know that Naruto used a mask, and that his true face was quite dark. Tell me, Kakashi, what has he done this time? Nothing too bad, I hope. I'm afraid it is, Hokage-sama. This morning was planned for me to give the team my test to see if they are ready to be shinobi. But when I arrived at the training grounds, the scene was less than pleasant. Sakura Haruna was curled into a ball on the far end of the bridge crying her eyes out, and Sasuke Uchiha looked as if he had just seen Itachi again. Sakura is currently in the ICU of the hospital's mental ward. They tell me she will be able to be reinstated in about 5 days, and she will likely be scarred for life. Sarutobi's eyes widened, and his pipe dropped from his mouth as the description went on. By the end he looked quite furious. Naruto, what did you do to your teammates? He ordered. Naruto shifted uncomfortably. He hated explaining it. It made him look like a complete dick. Well, I threatened Sakura to stop insulting me, and I backed the threat with a bit of killing intent, but it seems I overdid it a bit. I didn't mean to harm her or anything, I just wanted her to stop insulting me and thinking I was stupid and weak. Sarutobi's scowl lessened, but he was still angry. Well, good job, Naruto. The girl will likely fear you for the rest of her life. But since it was an accident, and you didn't mean any harm by it. I will not do anything too drastic. As punishment, I am going to make you wear heavy weights until your team takes its first C-rank mission. How heavy? Naruto asked. You will still be able to move and function enough, but you will definitely regret doing this. The weights will start at 75 pounds of weight on each limb, via weights on your ankles and wrists. You will also have a weighted belt with 150 pounds of weight, and the weight will be increased throughout the punishment. Naruto frowned and did his best to look upset at the punishment. 450 pounds of weight. That's way too much, Hokage-sama. He yelled, though on the inside he was quite happy. Sweet, Kyuubi, they're giving me free weight training as punishment. I've been wanting a set of weights. That's too bad, Naruto. By the end of the punishment the weight will likely be much higher. Maybe this will teach you to play with your teammates' minds. Kakashi was happy and upset at the same time. Hokage-sama, don't you think 450 pounds of weight is a bit much? I trained using that much weight, and the boy is only 12. Maybe Naruto should have thought of the consequences of his actions before he harmed a fellow Konoha shinobi. He then snapped his fingers and two Umbu appeared with the weights. Please attach the weight to Naruto's wrists, ankles, and waist. Both Umbu nodded and strapped Naruto up with the weights. Having never trained with weights before, he was extremely weighed down. He couldn't raise his arms, and he could only drag his legs across the ground. Okay, so this isn't as easy as I'd hoped. Still, this will only make me much stronger in the end, and I will get through this. Good outlook on things, kid. We're gonna spend the rest of the day getting you used to the weights. And also I want the standard 15 clones at the library. Have a couple study strictly Kenjutsu. And I still want the other 500 clones working on chakra control. Actually, I want about 75 of those 500 clones to brainstorm on jutsu ideas and other training options we could do. Kyuubi. Naruto struggled but eventually got his arms up to make the seals and created all the bunch he needed. He sent off the hinged ones to the library, and the others to get to work. He then got to work on running around the training ground and getting used to his new weights for the day. Naruto spent the next 5 days like that, with his clones learning, working and brainstorming. By the end of the time he didn't even notice he had the weights on anymore, which kind of annoyed him. He wanted to feel more weight. He was finally contacted by Kakashi telling him Sakura was out of the hospital and they would have their test the following morning. Naruto was glad that they would finally get to take the test. He would try and make it up to Sakura. Hopefully she wasn't as scared as they said she would be. The next morning Naruto walked up to the bridge on time. To see that Sakura and Sasuke were both there already, he walked onto the bridge as harmlessly as possible, and tried not to look menacing, but it didn't work. The second Sakura saw him, her eyes widened in terror, and she took off running, crying. Naruto sighed and chased after her. He found her about a block away in an alley cowering behind a garbage can. When he moved the can out of the way and she saw him there, she looked like she was going to lose control of her bladder on the spot. "PP, please don't kill me," she wailed. Naruto sat down before her and hung his head. "I really did break her mind, didn't I?" "No, she is just incredibly scared of you now. It will take time to go away. Maybe you could try being nice to her?" "I guess I could try it, though I'm not sure how." "Try apologizing. You could go as far as promising to never hurt her. But I don't think you would do that." "Actually, I think I will do that, Kyuubi." Naruto reached out, very slowly, and pulled her hands away from her face. She had covered her face to hide from him when he sat down. "Sakura, I'm sorry for what I did. I never meant to make it that bad. I just wanted you to stop insulting me. You have no idea how much I've been insulted in my life. I just wanted it to stop, and I didn't know how to control the killing intent I was using it. I only wanted to get my point across to you, not terrify you." Sakura slowly lifted her gaze up into his own, and she saw in his eyes that he was sincere. "I know it probably doesn't mean anything after what I did to you, but I promise I will never hurt you, Sakura. I never planned to, and I still don't. I never meant to do what I did." Sakura sniffled and pulled her hands from his grip and wiped her tears away from her eyes. "Do you really mean that?" Naruto nodded. "Yes, I do. And I'm sorry for what I did to you." She didn't know why, but for some strange reason she believed. Even after lifting her off the ground by her throat and showing her him killing her in a most painful way, she believed him when he told her he would never harm her. "Okay, I guess I can trust you, and I will stop insulting you. I've been insulted a lot too. I just always needed something else to let my stress out on. I guess I thought I could just pass my pain on to you. I'm sorry, Naruto." Naruto chuckled. "There are other ways to let out stress. I find training works great for stress. Taijutsu training works great for me. Gets the blood flowing and you get so involved everything else in the world just melts away." It was at this point that Sakura noticed the large weights on Naruto's wrists, ankles and waist. "And Naruto, what are those things on your wrists, ankles and waist?" Naruto motioned to the weight on his wrist. "Oh, these? They are my punishment for what I did to you. I have to wear these weights until I get my first C-rank mission, so if we fail this test I will be wearing them for the next year or more." Sakura nodded. "Do they weigh a lot?" Naruto shrugged. "Yeah, but I'm already used to them, but I'm sure they will get increased in weight again soon. Anyway, do you want to head back to the bridge now, even though we probably have a while until Kakashi's lazy ass gets here?" Sakura giggled slightly at Kakashi's expense. "Yeah, I guess we should head back, and thank you for talking to me, it really did help." Naruto got up from the alley floor and helped Sakura up. The two then walked back towards the bridge. I don't know why, but that being nice thing was really easy for some reason. Any guess why, Kyuubi?" "Of course, Kit, you are naturally a good person at heart. You don't have what it takes to be a completely heartless person, and it's just a matter of time before someone comes along and fixes your broken heart. Naruto smiled his first genuine smile for the first time in years. Thanks Kyuchan, you always know how to bring my mood around. Well of course Kit, what kind of mother would I be if I could not make my kid happy? And what kind of a kid would I be if I could not make my mother proud? A bad one. Now go and make me proud Kit, and look out, you're almost at the bridge. Naruto refocused on the world around him, and Kyuubi was right. He and Sakura were almost to the bridge, and somehow his arm had gotten around her shoulder. But he didn't mind. Kakashi arrived at the bridge and did not like the scene he came to. Sasuke was sitting on the ground being his broody self, but both Naruto and Sakura were missing. He was about to ask Sasuke if he'd seen them when he jabbed a thumb down the way the two had run. Kakashi looked over and was quite shocked to see Naruto and Sakura walking back towards the bridge, with Naruto's arm over Sakura's shoulder. And was she smiling? When they got to the bridge, Kakashi pulled Naruto to the side. Okay Naruto, what's up? Why is she smiling? And what was with the arm over her shoulder? Naruto grinned. Time to play Genjutsu Kakashi. I made her think I'm Sasuke and Sasuke's me. We just totally made out in an alley down the road. Imagine how much she's gone freak when I drop it, and show her she made out with her worst nightmare. Kakashi gasped. Naruto, what the hell is wrong with you? Are you trying to destroy the girl's mind? After this is over I'm going to talk to the Hokage to see your shinobi status revoked. Naruto frowned. This went from joke to serious way too fast. Damn, I'm kidding Kakashi. I didn't do anything to her. She ran from me when I showed up at the bridge. I followed her to where she ran and apologized to her. I also promised her I would never hurt her. She said she believed me and we came back, and I didn't know my arm just got there somehow while we were walking. Kakashi's visible eye narrowed. Now he couldn't tell if he was lying or not. Naruto, if you're toying with this girl's mind, I will have you thrown in prison, regardless of your age. Naruto put his hands up in a surrendering pose. I'm not toying with her Kakashi, just wanted to play a joke on you, and saw that as a perfect opportunity. Kakashi noticed how easily he lifted his arms, even with the weights. Naruto, I thought the Hokage made you wear weights as a punishment. Naruto pointed to the weight on his wrist. And I am. What's the big deal? Kakashi's eye widened. Now, you're already used to that much weight? Naruto shrugged. Yeah, I mean it's not too bad. The first day was pretty bad, but after that it was easy. Now it's like there's nothing there at all. Kakashi was speechless. He trained with 450 pounds of weight. Naruto, after the test today I'm going to bring you to the Hokage to have the weight upped again then, okay? Naruto shrugged again. Yes sure. I just hope we're also going to be going to the Hokage's office to get out first D rank. I just need to convince the team to use teamwork against you, which is going to be harder than fighting you alone. Kakashi's eye widened again when Naruto mentioned teamwork. Did he already figure out the test before I've even given it? But it was all Naruto needed to solidify his uncertainties of what the test was about. Hook, line and sinker. Sometimes Kit, I wonder if you aren't a kitsune in disguise with your cunning intellect. Like mother like son eh? I guess you rubbed off on me. They both shared a chuckle at the thought of a half-kitsune version of Naruto. If only they knew what would be coming in the future for them. The three genin regrouped at the bridge and Kakashi stood before them and started to tell them about the test. Kakashi pulled out 2 bells and an alarm clock. All right, your goal in this test is to get one of these 2 bells before the alarm goes off at noon. Anyone who doesn't get a bell gets sent back to the academy. Sakura raised her hand. Kakashi-sensei, there's only 2 bells though. Kakashi, I am precisely. This test has a 66 failure rate. At least one of you will get sent back with there only being 2 bells. Out of the 27 graduates of the academy, only 9 of them will become shinobi. Good luck and begin. Sakura and Sasuke both instantly took off out into the bushes, but Naruto just stood there and smiled heavily at Kakashi. You're a strange one, aren't you, Naruto? You think you can take me on by yourself? Naruto started chuckling darkly. So that's how you're working this test, hiding the need of teamwork to get at a jounin with the fact that by working together at least one of us will fail. This shall be interesting. Kakashi. Naruto then took off to the woods after Sakura. Crap, he really did figure it all out already. Seems I might be taking a team for once. Kakashi crouched down and pulled out his favorite little book that we all know and love. Naruto had caught up to Sakura and came up behind her and put a hand over her mouth. Somehow he knew she would scream if he snuck up on her. He turned her around and put a finger to his lips, showing her to be quiet. Sakura, I was right with my guess. This test is about getting us to work together. No genin can be expected to beat a jounin in a one-on-one fight, but 3 might be able to distract him long enough to complete the objective. The bells are to try and keep us from working together. Sakura nodded. But Naruto, what if you're wrong and the bells really do count still? Naruto shrugged. Then I'll take the hit and go back to the academy. My mistake anyway then. But for now, let's go get Sasuke. He's about 300 feet from us. Sakura nodded and followed behind Naruto. Naruto was right. Sasuke was crouched in a tree looking at Kakashi, probably making an attack plan. Pissed, hey Sasuke, down here, Naruto called. Sasuke looked down and noticed the 2 of them. What the hell are you doing here, dope? Get out of here before you blow my cover. Sakura broke in quickly. Sasuke-kun, Naruto figured out the test. It's about teamwork and getting us to work together. The bells are just a distraction to confuse us. Sasuke looked fairly amazed that the dobe was able to figure something out before he did. Just what makes you so damn sure, dobe? Naruto cringed at being called a dobe by Sasuke. I read about these secondary tests being about teamwork in the library. Then I tricked Kakashi into giving it away back at the bridge, and if I'm wrong you guys can have the bells, I'll go back. Sasuke shrugged. Tch, fine, so what do we do? Naruto grinned. Glad you asked. So here's what we're gonna do. Naruto went into a detailed plan of how they were going to use Kakashi's perverse nature against him using Naruto's Kage bunchins of 3 women, and also henged into the team members. Naruto made 3 clones and had them henge into 3 different, very scantily clad women and had them sneak around to the lake in the back to bathe to distract the perv. He then created another 120 shadow clones and sent 40 to each of the teammates. The clones each henged into the teammate they were working with, so there were now 41 Narutos, 41 Sakuras and 41 Sasukes. Okay guys, let's surround Kakashi on the 3 sides away from the lake. Once in position, Naruto gave the mental command for the 3 clones at the lake to start acting like a couple of loud-mouthed bimbos to get Kakashi's attention. It worked quite well. Kakashi got up to walk over to see what the commotion was all about. When he got there he was not expecting what he got. There in front of him were 3 very curvaceous women giggling and splashing each other. There was a small trail of blood coming from Kakashi's nose at the sight and he giggled, which got their attention. The clones saw the blood and the book he was reading and yelled pervert, and started to charge at him with their arms raised ready to smack the crap out of him. Kakashi did exactly as Naruto expected. He slowly backed away from the women without looking behind him, saying Gomen the whole time. He failed to notice the 123 genin behind him until it was too late. Kakashi backed right into a Sakura clone, then turned around and promptly gasped. What the hell? How did these kids learn the shadow clone just to? And to create 40 each at this age? What are these kids? Every clone there and Naruto and Sakura all laughed. Sasuke did not, of course. When the clones finished laughing, one of the Narutos said, Hey Kakashi, 3 genin couldn't beat a jounin. But how about 123 genin? You think they could beat you? How about touch you? We think they could. With that the battalion of clones charged at Kakashi. Kakashi was dispelling them with punches and kicks as fast as he could. But he was quickly getting overwhelmed, so he whipped out 2 kunai, 1 in each hand. Well, they are just clones, right? Kakashi started to decimate the clones at a rapid pace. Naruto saw that now was his chance to do his part of the plan and distract Kakashi long enough for the bells to be grabbed. So he jumped up in the air over the rest of the clones and flew at Kakashi, aiming to hit him with a flying dropkick. Kakashi saw this, of course, and brought up both his kunai and implanted them both into the clone right into the stomach. He then whipped out 2 more kunai and went to go and take out other clones, right until he got hit by Naruto. Kakashi stumbled back and Naruto smacked onto the ground with a thud. Kakashi realized too late that that wasn't a clone he just stabbed 2 kunai into. Oh, not good, not good. While Kakashi was mentally freaking about what would happen to him for killing one of his genin in the exam, he didn't notice Sakura grab the bells from his belt and toss one to Sasuke. After the bells were secured, all 120 clones dispersed, leaving the 2 genin and Naruto on the ground in a small pool of blood. Naruto leaned up and glared at Kakashi. You know, Kakashi, you should be a little more careful about where you stick these things, he said while gesturing towards the 2 kunai in his stomach. I mean, yes sure, I make a great kunai holster, but it's not as fun as you might think it is. Naruto pulled out the 2 kunai and tossed them to Kakashi, who caught them. But the kunai being removed fully opened the wound, and blood started to pour out of Naruto's 2 gashes much more rapidly. Aw crap was what Naruto said as he passed out and fell forwards into his own pool of blood. Kakashi went over to check Naruto's wounds. He opened his jacket, and to his surprise, and Sakura's joy, Naruto was ripped. The kid was 12 and had a fully developed 6-pack and chest, and to his further surprise the wounds were already almost done healing. But he also noticed that Naruto's chest was covered in scars, from burns to stab wounds and cuts from all his past beatings. It seems the Kyuubi being in him makes it so he heals very quickly, right? So you all pass, and once Naruto wakes up in a minute I'm going to take you to the Hokage Tower for our first mission. Sakura pumped her fist. How Naruto was right. It was all about teamwork, she yelled. Sasuke did nothing but stand there like the stoic bastard he is. Naruto came to a minute later. He looked around him, and no hospital? He got up and his team was around him. Ah, Naruto, good to see you're awake. Sorry about those kunai. I never expected you to attack with the clones. But anyway, we have to go to Hokage Tower. Naruto shook his head to clear his thoughts and realized his jacket was open, and all he had was a large mesh shirt on under it. Actually, the breeze is nice, I'm gonna keep it like this. The 4 members of Team 7 then went off to the Hokage Tower to get their first mission as a team, and to increase Naruto's weight for his punishment. 15 minutes later and the 3 walked into the Hokage's office and were standing before the Hokage. Hokage-sama, these 3 passed my test with flying colors. We're here to take our first mission, and to up Naruto's punishment. He says he doesn't even feel the weight anymore, Kakashi stated while bowing. Sarutobi glanced over at Naruto, whose shirt was open and his stomach was covered in dried blood. Naruto, what happened to you? You're covered in blood, he asked. Naruto rubbed the back of his head. Little bit of a mishap during the test. 2 kunai to the stomach when I caught Kakashi off guard. Ha? Sarutobi glared at Kakashi. You stabbed a genin during their exam? Kakashi put his hand up defensively. It was an accident. I didn't expect him to be mixed in with the clones. Sarutobi nodded. Very well. There are a few D ranks here today, you can take them. And he snapped his fingers and 2 Umbu appeared bowing to him. Yes, Hokage-sama? Get the weights. I want you to double Naruto's weight. Both Umbu bowed and disappeared. only to reappear a moment later with a set of weights, which they looked to be struggling to carry. Hokage-sama, don't you think this is a bit extreme? He's just a boy, and we can barely lift these weights. He will take the punishment for what he's done. Both Umbu nodded and went over to Naruto and took off his old set of weights and put on the new ones. It had the same reaction as last time of making it hard for him to walk or raise his arms. Thanks, Hokage-sama. I was hoping I'd get a new set soon. Those other ones were like feathers. Feels good to have some weight on me, Naruto said. Sarutobi grinned. I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun doing D-ranks with those weights on, Naruto. And from now on I want you to come to the office whenever your weights feel light. I don't want you to have any time of relaxation until your first C rank, which will be in about a month. Naruto bowed. Of course, Hokage-sama. The team took their missions and headed out to do a few for the day. And by the end of the day the Genins had decided that D-rank missions suck. Kakashi-sensei, how many D-ranks do we have to do before we're allowed to take a C rank? Naruto asked. Normally about 50 to 100 D-ranks. If you do 2 to 3 a day it takes about a month or so, Kakashi replied. Naruto grinned. Good. Starting tomorrow we are going to blow through about 15 to 20 D-ranks, or I am at least. Kakashi looked intrigued. And how do you plan to do that, Naruto? Naruto grinned his evil grin. Trade secrets, Kakashi. I'll see you all later, I have training to do. Naruto went off to his training ground to set up a few hundred clones to work on chakra control. It was too late to send any to the library, so he just went to sleep with the command to dispel slowly over the night. The next morning Team 7 was before the Hokage again. But this time Naruto spoke up. Hokage-sama, how many D-rank missions do you have in total to hand out right now? Sarutobi cocked his head slightly. We have about 50 D-ranks right now. Why? Naruto got an evil glint in his eye. Good. Can I get about 15 or 20 of them? I guarantee that we will complete them by the end of the day. Sarutobi frowned. That's impossible, Naruto. The most D-ranks that were ever done in one day by a team was 10. Naruto's grin grew. Really? In that case give us 30 missions, I know it's doable. Sarutobi shrugged. Just so you know, the team that did it had the 4th Hokage on it. Good, just give me the missions, they'll be done before sundown. Sarutobi sighed. He knew it was impossible. Fine, here you go. He handed over a whole bunch of scrolls to Naruto. And the team then left the tower. Once outside the team turned to Naruto. Kakashi spoke up. Okay, what's up, Naruto? What are you doing asking for so many missions? It's impossible. Naruto grinned. Wrong, Kakashi. I could have done all 50 missions if I wanted to. Now let's begin. Naruto did the hand seals for Kage Bunshin and 120 clones poofed around him. Then all the clones split into 4-man groups, with 3 of them hinged into Kakashi, Sakura, and Sasuke. Naruto handed out a scroll to each of the 30 teams and dismissed them. And that's that, 30 teams of us doing 30 missions at once. They should be done in just a few hours, he laughed. Kakashi frowned. Naruto, the point of D-rank missions is not to just get them done, it's to promote the teamwork between members and to show that life isn't all fun and games. Naruto shrugged. It's not like they will actually teach us teamwork. What is there to do? Oh, Sakura, you wanna grab that weed over there? Kakashi, I don't think life is all fun and games. But I'm training right now just by doing these D-ranks. And plus with the time the clones save us, then we can go and train and progress further and faster. Kakashi frowned. This wasn't how he wanted it to go. But Naruto had a good point. Fine. While your clones do the D-ranks for us, we will train. Meet me at training ground 7 in 20 minutes. Okay, see ya there, Kakashi, Naruto yelled over his shoulder as he walked away. He needed to go get used to his weights and quick before training. He went to his private training field and created 5 Bunshins to gang up on him. What better way to get used to the weights than get beat until you can block them? 20 minutes later Naruto was already used to his new weights, enough to move his legs and arms, enough to move normally, albeit slowly. He took off towards training ground 7, and he got there 5 minutes late, and was surprised to see Kakashi and the other 2 there already. Naruto, you're 5 minutes late, Kakashi stated in a monotone. Naruto shrugged. Sorry, was training to get used to my new weight. So what are we going to be doing, Kakashi? Kakashi walked over towards the trees of the training ground. I'm going to help you with your chakra control, by climbing trees. Both Sakura and Sasuke simultaneously said, Nani? While Naruto just looked put off. That's your big way to train us, Kakashi? That is so boring, Naruto drawled. Kakashi's eye narrowed at Naruto. Maybe you should let me demonstrate first, Naruto. Kakashi then walked up to a tree and walked right up the side until he was hanging upside down from a branch. This is what I meant, Naruto. Naruto sighed and walked up to the tree next to Kakashi and jogged up the side and jumped over on the same branch as Kakashi and hung upside down in front of him. I know what you meant, Kakashi. It's boring. I've been doing this for years now. Kakashi's eye widened at Naruto's statement that he'd been doing chakra control exercises for years now. Naruto, what other chakra control exercises have you done, if any? Naruto shrugged and started counting off fingers. Tree climbing, water walking, kunai balancing, saban balancing, and an extra special variety that very few people can do that I thought of myself. Kakashi's eye widened further as he counted off his fingers. Some Jounin couldn't even do saban balancing, and he's only 12. Naruto, tell me, how long have you been practicing chakra control? Naruto sighed. If you count the time I've gained from my kenjutsu, about 9 years. I just wish I knew more ways to train my chakra control. I've thought of trying waterfall running, but there's no waterfalls in Konoha. Kakashi's eye once again narrowed. How many secrets did this mystery child keep? Naruto, how do you have 9 years of training? You're 12. What is this kinjutsu? Naruto grinned evilly. There's no fun in telling you. But you've seen it before, I can tell you that. A kinjutsu that I've seen before. Does he mean ever or that I've seen him use? Hell, he's only used the Kage Bunshin, that's it. I see what you did. That is incredibly intelligent to do, Naruto. With a good training regimen using that technique you could easily become incredibly powerful. Naruto nodded yes. And I am fully exploiting it. I will become the most powerful person on earth. I have no doubt. Naruto then dropped from the tree back down to his teammates, who were amazed at how Kakashi walked up the tree, but were downright floored when Naruto followed him right up the tree. Sakura stammered out the question both she and Sasuke were thinking. How did you guys do that? Naruto smiled warmly at her chakra. We used our chakra to stick to the trees. Hey Kakashi, I'll help Sakura get it. You help Sasuke, how's that? Naruto called back to Kakashi, who just nodded and dropped down to Sasuke. Good, Sakura, come with me. Naruto beckoned, which she did. She followed him over away from Kakashi and Sasuke out to the edge of the training ground where Naruto stood next to a tree. Okay Sakura, come over here and put one foot on the tree. Sakura walked up to the tree and put one foot on the tree. Like this? Naruto nodded yes, good. Now channel your chakra to that foot until you feel your foot stick to the tree. Sakura did so. Her foot glowed a dull blue. I think I got it, Naruto. It feels like it's glued there. Naruto walked around behind her and held her under her arms. And Naruto, what are you doing? Trust me, lift your other foot off the ground and put it on the tree, and try to get it to stick. Sakura lifted her other foot off the ground and put it on the tree and started to channel chakra to it, and like on Naruto's first time she lost her hold and fell to the ground. But Naruto was there and caught her. Thanks Naruto-kun. The affectionate suffix didn't go unnoticed by Naruto. Is this the same girl that I put in the hospital last week? It's alright Sakura, the same thing happened to me the first time, but I didn't have someone to catch me. Try it again. And don't worry, I'll catch you again if you fall. So, Naruto helped Sakura learn to climb trees. She had naturally good chakra control, so she got it pretty fast. Sasuke didn't. By the end of the day he had only made it about halfway up a tree, about as far as Naruto did on his first day trying. Sakura had gotten all the way to the tip-tops of the trees. In the Naruto's groups of clones came back to the team and dropped off the mission scrolls so they could bring them to the Hokage Tower, and rub it in Sarutobi's face of course. Team 7 walked into the office with the mission scrolls. Naruto walked up to Sarutobi's desk and dumped the scrolls on his desk. 30 completed D-rank missions, Hokage-sama. And you said it couldn't be done. We could have done all 50 that you had, but I wanted to leave some for the other genin squads. Sarutobi was speechless. This is truly phenomenal, Naruto. How did you do it? You beat the 4th Hokage's genin squad threefold. Naruto chuckled. Afraid I can't tell you how I mean we did it. A good shinobi never reveals his secrets. Sarutobi was put off. Fine, this is a huge number of missions, Naruto. It would take most genin teams upwards of 2.5 weeks to do this many missions. You and your team have a huge paycheck coming to you. Naruto grinned. Great, I could always use some extra money, so tomorrow we do it again. Sarutobi shook his head. No, from now on I'm not letting your team do more than 3 missions a day. I want you to have time working together with your teammates. Naruto frowned. But then it will take us another 8 days at least. Sarutobi nodded. Exactly. Normally it would take genin teams over a month to do it. Time to get to know each other and to learn to work together. This will give you some more time to do those things. Plus I want you to get the full extent of your punishment still. Naruto was unhappy. Don't you think our time could be better spent training together as a team, doing team exercises and such? Weeding Gardens does not promote any kind of teamwork, Hokage-sama. Sarutobi was done with this conversation. He got up from his desk and shouted, do not raise your voice to me. I am the Hokage of this village. My word is law. You will learn to respect that. Naruto hung his head, bangs shading his eyes. Yes, Hokage-sama. Sarutobi collected himself and sat back down. Good. I will see you and your team tomorrow. Naruto nodded and left the office, leaving his team behind him. He needed to go work off some stress, and that's exactly what he went and did. He worked out at his training ground until he passed out in the clearing. And that's how the week went, with the team doing their limit of 3 missions per day. Then Naruto would go off and train into the night before heading home to sleep. Today was the last day. They had handed in their final D-rank mission, and tomorrow Sarutobi was giving Team 7 their first C-rank mission. And with that Naruto's weights would be removed, which were now up to a staggering weight of 1,600 pounds total. That leaves us here, in Naruto's mind. Naruto stood before the giant gates of Kyuubi's prison, if it could be called that anymore. Once Kyuubi told him the look of his mind was up to him, and him alone, he made some significant changes. His side of the mindscape was now a rather lavish study with a homey fireplace on one end of the room. On the bookshelves throughout the large room were thousands of books, all of which were Naruto's memories on past things. One specific cabinet was wrapped in chains and locked down, Naruto's locked away memories. Instead of a wall on the far side of the room was Kyuubi's giant cage door. On the other side of the door was an endless plain of grass with the occasional tree dotting the landscape. Kyuubi lay on the other side of the cage while Naruto was in a recliner in the study. Kyu-chan, I was wondering about the weights the Hokage's given me as punishment. Why is it that the weights never get too heavy for me? And I get used to them in almost no time at all. Even the 1,600 pound set doesn't bother me anymore. Why? I think I am the reason behind this kit. The healing effects my chakra grants you is not limited in what it can heal, so the constant strain and wear put on your muscles by having the weights on is almost instantly fixed and reinforced. You training with weights gives you incredible results at an inhuman pace. It's quite fascinating actually. Cool. It's a shame that the weights come off tomorrow, and the only equipment shop that lets me in doesn't make or sell weights. Kyuubi nodded yes, but I think I have a way to get around this little problem with the weights. I remembered an old seal I saw many years back. It was a weight seal. It affects the mass of anything it is put on, and the weight can be increased in levels by adding chakra to the seals. Naruto grinned. That's fantastic. Can it be put onto a person? Kyuubi nodded yes. But we're not going to do it. The way the seal works, it takes about 20 seconds of focusing your chakra to change it one level. So with the weight you would have it set you would die in combat before you got the weight low enough to make a difference. Naruto sighed. Then what was the point of getting my hopes up, Kyuchan? Do you like to see me upset? Kyuubi frowned. No. What we can do is put the seals on your clothing, so you can take off the clothes to instantly drop all the weight. We put one on your jacket, and on a pair of bracers for your ankles and wrists. That way in a tough fight you just toss off the weights. And Viola. Instant speed. Naruto broke out into a grin. That's pure genius, Kyuchan. Can we set it up now so when I take off the weights tomorrow I can put it right back on? Kyuubi nodded yes, we can, but first we have to leave the mindscape, and you have to get the required equipment. Naruto grinned and pumped his fist in an excited fashion. Great. I already have the bracers we can use in closet at home. They have quick release latches. They will work great. And I have an inkwell and brush on my dresser. Let's get started. Naruto faded from the mindscape with his grin still plastered to his face. He opened his eyes and jumped off his bed, where he had laid down for the meeting. Okay, get the bracers, take off your jacket and get the ink and brush. This will take a while. Naruto did as instructed and got all the needed items. He was ready and sitting on the floor within a few minutes. Okay, Kyuchan, ready to go. Naruto, with the help of Kyuubi, then put the new seals on the items. The seals were intricate and very beautiful looking when finished. But the way Kyuubi explained it to him, they functioned in a very simple fashion. They just compressed the mass of the object for every level, increasing the object in density and increasing its weight. Kyuubi also had him make a sealing scroll to put the jacket and weights in until tomorrow, since he couldn't wear the 1,600-pound Hokage weights and his own weights. In the end it took him about 60 minutes to bring all the gear up in the levels. He then sealed them away and went to sleep. They had a big day ahead of them. The next morning Naruto got up and completed his morning routine. He put on his spare jacket since his newly weighted one was in his new scroll, which he had in one of the pouches of his belt. He took off and went to the Hokage tower as planned. He got there in about 20 minutes with his weights. The rest of the team was already there waiting in the Hokage's office. Sarutobi nodded to Naruto. Good morning, Naruto. Are you ready to have your weights removed and to take your first C-rank mission today? Naruto bowed deeply. Hi, I am Hokage-sama. Sarutobi nodded again and snapped his fingers and 4 Umbu appeared one either side of him. Please remove Naruto's set of weights. His punishment is over. The 4 Umbu walked over to Naruto and removed the weights and sluggishly left with them. Once the Umbu left, Naruto took out a scroll from his belt and unrolled it on the floor. He also took off his jacket, which made Sakura blush slightly at the sight of his upper body. Sarutobi for one was confused. Naruto, would you mind telling me what you're doing? He asked. Naruto grinned. Since you removed my weights, I'm putting on the set I created last night, he stated, while swiping some of his blood over the scroll, revealing an identical jacket to the one he was wearing, and also 2 pairs of bracers, one for the ankles and one for the wrists. He then put on the new jacket, rolled up his pant legs and put on those bracers. When he finished with those bracers he went on to his wrist bracers. While he was strapping on them he accidentally dropped on, and it smashed onto the floor with a very heavy thud that shook the room slightly. Naruto grinned sheepishly and put it on, then stood back up after sealing his regular jacket away and putting the scroll away. Everyone was wide-eyed at the fact that the little bracers shook the floor they stood on. Sarutobi regained his composure. First, Naruto, how much does your new weights weigh exactly? Naruto chuckled. Just about 1,900 pounds, Hokage-sama. He then broke out into a grin at the renewed gaping expressions of everyone present. Very well, Naruto, let's get to the matters at hand now that everyone is here and ready. Tazuna, you may come in now. Sarutobi called out to Tazuna, who came in through the doors a moment later. TCH. These brats are supposed to protect me? The blonde one looks like a moron. Naruto flinched at the insult. I'm sorry to inform you that your observations are inaccurate. This team is more than capable of doing whatever needed to do. If by some chance we aren't, Kakashi here is a jounin. Sarutobi nodded. Naruto is correct, Tazuna. They are more than capable. Your mission is to escort Tazuna back to his home in Wave Country and protect him from bandits and thieves while he finishes a bridge he's building. Kakashi nodded. Hi, Hokage-sama. Everyone go home and pack for 3 weeks. Meet me at the gates in 30 minutes. 30 minutes later and the 5-man group left the gates heading for Wave Country at a slow pace. After about 2 hours walking they passed a puddle. Naruto noticed it and thought it would be wise to inform the rest. Nah, Kakashi, isn't it so nice? It hasn't rained in days. Perfect day for a walk, eh? Kakashi caught Naruto's statement and nodded. It is. Very nice day indeed. Kakashi then dropped back to the rear of the group while Naruto walked up closer to Sasuke and Sakura. Not a minute later 2 figures rose from the puddle. They both seemed to be male by their size. They had dark gray cloaks draped over them that reached to their ankles. They had respirators on their faces hiding their mouths and noses from view. They both had large clawed gauntlets on their hands that were connected to each other by a long spiked chain. They appeared on either side of Kakashi in an instant, and wrapped their chain around him. One down, they said in unison before shredding Kakashi into a rain of blood and chunks of shinobi. Naruto instantly turned back to them, right as they appeared before him. Two down, they both said as they swung their chain to wrap up Naruto. But Naruto chuckled and just said, nope, as he channeled chakra to his hands, and sliced the chain apart like a hot knife through butter, which caught both ninja off guard as they stumbled from the loss of a counterweight. This was all the opportunity needed. Sasuke threw a shuriken followed by a kunai, which locked one half of the chain to a tree, trapping the nin with it. Sasuke threw 3 more shurikens around the nin with ninja wire attached. They wrapped around the tree and tied the ninja to the tree, trapping him. Naruto was not as subtle in his way of stopping the other nin. He merely dodged his strikes with his bladed gauntlet and slashed his throat with the chakra in his hand. The nin choked up some blood into his mask before collapsing onto the ground, where a pool of his own blood spilled out of him onto the ground, forming a large crimson pool. A second later, Kakashi reappeared in the clearing, eyeing Sasuke's and Naruto's handiwork. Sasuke, good job capturing the nin. Naruto, good job of removing the threat without hesitation. Kakashi then walked over to the tied-up nin and took him down while tying him up with the wire. He then carried him off into the woods to question him. Kakashi reappeared a few minutes later, without the nin, with a not happy look on his face. Tazuna-san, you need to tell what exactly is going on here. The nin could only tell me that he was hired to take you out. He wouldn't say who hired him though. This is grounds enough to cut our contract and return to Konoha. So you better tell us everything we need to know, and now. Tazuna hung his head and frowned. Okay, you win. Wave Country is extremely poor. Our shipping and trade industries have been taken over by a business tycoon. He took over all of our imports and exports and dissolved the economy for his own gain. He kills anyone who rises against him and has an army of thugs and mercenaries to back him. He also apparently hired Shinobi to kill me, for if my bridge is completed, he will lose his hold on our country. This man's name is Gado. Kakashi's eye widened. Gado? As in the richest man in the world, Gado? Tazuna nodded yes. His businesses are just a front to hide the illegal activities he partakes in. He is a horrible man and is destroying all of Wave Country. I beg of you to please help me save my country. Kakashi nodded, then looked to his team. I'm going to leave the decision up to you three. This mission is beyond the original parameters now, and could be beyond your skill, so I'm leaving it up to you whether we stay or go. Naruto frowned like we're gonna leave a country to dwindle into nothingness. Kakashi, you're not leaving it up to us. You're testing us to see how we answer. Only a coward would not put himself at risk to help save the weak and defenseless. I say we continue on, and free Wave from Gado's tyrannical reign. Sasuke nodded. He's right. We're more than ready for anything we come across, or at least I am. And the dobe isn't helpless either. We'll be fine. Sakura, sticking to her fangirl nature, backed Sasuke. I agree. Sasuke-kun is right. We're more than ready for anything we may come across. Kakashi, I smiled at his team. Okay then, it seems that we're gonna continue on with the mission. Let's get going. Everyone collected themselves and got ready, and they continued on their journey to Wave Country. 5 days later, the group came to a large river where they met with a man with a small rowboat that could get them across the river to the other side. On the way across, the group got a taste of just how grand a bridge it was as they traveled beneath it. Monstrous concrete columns supported the giant deck overhead. The size of the bridge dwarfed the tiny boat they were in. It truly was nothing short of a piece of architectural genius, a true masterpiece of the working world. They got to the other side of the river and thanked the boat owner for the subtle trip across the river, and then continued on their way towards Tazuna's house. After about 3 minutes of walking, Naruto's danger senses started going haywire. That can't be good, he mused. Not a second later, Kakashi screamed, get down. Out of sheer instinct, Naruto swept the feet out from beneath Sakura and Tazuna, literally saving their heads as a giant blade soared overhead and embedded into a tree across the road. A second later, a man appeared standing on the hilt of the giant Zanbato. His face was wrapped in bandages from the nose down. He had gray camouflage pants on with arm warmers similar to Sasuke's but a different color. Kakashi frowned at the man. Zabuza Momochi, demon of the hidden mist. What an unpleasant surprise. The newly named Zabuza chuckled in a way not too distant from Naruto. I'm flattered that my reputation precedes me, even all the way out to Konoha. Sharingan no Kakashi. What say you hand over the bridge builder and make this easy for me? Kakashi's frown deepened beneath his mask. Sorry, but it's our mission to protect Tazuna. It would do to hand him over to his death. Kakashi lifted up his headband from his left eye, revealing the spinning Sharingan beneath it. Using the Sharingan already, Kakashi? I'm honored. Too bad it won't be enough. Kakashi and Zabuza started their face-off. Zabuza pulled his Zanbatao from the tree and jumped down to ground level. He then charged at Kakashi and swung horizontally to cut him in two. Kakashi jumped back to avoid the wide slash, then charged forward to counter, but Zabuza was much faster than one would think with the size of his sword. He brought it up in a blink to stop Kakashi's kunai, then jumped back and swung his massive sword down again. Kakashi sidestepped the swing and slashed again. This time he nicked Zabuza's arm, getting the slightest trail of blood. Zabuza then jumped backwards onto the lake that was off in the distance. Kakashi followed him, and they continued their battle. Zabuza started some hand seals and Kakashi instantly started copying them exactly. They both yelled out the name of the jutsu at the same time. Water style. Water Dragon no Jutsu. Two huge dragons rose up out of the water, one behind Kakashi, and one behind Zabuza. They were both of equal size and ferocity. Both charged forward and collided. Both shinobi pushed as much chakra into the jutsu as they could muster to overpower the opponent's jutsu. Zabuza very quickly created a Mizu Bunshin and replaced himself with it. When the water dragons died out, Kakashi charged in at Zabuza and impaled him in the stomach with a quick jab of his kunai. But Zabuza smiled and then started turning to water, then engulfed Kakashi, trapping him with immense pressure, keeping him from moving at all. How do you like my water prison jutsu, Kakashi? Now you have to watch me slaughter your students and the bridge builder. With that, Zabuza created 4 more Mizu Bunshins and set them after the genin. From inside the bubble, somehow, Kakashi called out to his team, run. Take the bridge builder and get out of here. His Mizu Bunshin can only go so far before they deteriorate. Naruto shook his head. Sorry Kakashi, that option disappeared the second you were caught. Naruto reached down and rolled up his pant legs and jacket sleeves and unclipped the weights, tossed them to the side with some satisfying thuds and dust clouds. Zabuza laughed. You think a little weight is going to make you able to take me out? Naruto then took off his jacket and dropped it on the ground behind him. With a very loud thud, a large dust cloud and a small crack in the ground. Now that feels good. Let's get this party started. Naruto took off in a blur. A second later, the 4 Mizu Bunshins burst into pools of water. But Naruto didn't stop. He charged straight through towards Zabuza. If I get him away from Kakashi, then he can take him out. Naruto charged at Zabuza. While doing it, he channeled chakra to his hand. Naruto came down in a karate chop kind of motion straight towards Zabuza's chest. Zabuza smirked at the genin's stupidity and raised a kunai to block the hit, and sliced the kid's hand apart. Imagine his shock when Naruto's hand met with kunai with no harm, and then started to quickly melt right through the kunai. Zabuza had just enough time to realize what was happening and to jump away from the attack that would surely do a lot of damage. But it's saving his own skin, Zabuza freed Kakashi, and that was all Naruto needed to do. Okay Kakashi, finish him off, this is getting annoying. Kakashi nodded to Naruto. Thanks for the save, Naruto. And I think I might just do that. Naruto ran back to shore and met up with the others to help guard Tazuna. In reality, he just wanted to sit and didn't want his ass getting wet. He walked over and picked up his weights and put them back on, and then slipped his jacket back on. During this time, Kakashi was mimicking Zabuza's movements and justice down to the slightest, but he then used the genjutsu from the Sharingan to make Zabuza hesitate, making it look like Kakashi had actually read his mind and finished his jutsu before he himself could do it. The jutsu swallowed Zabuza up into a gigantic torrent of water and thrashed and smashed him around before finally smashing him onto the shore into a tree near the rest of the group. Kakashi jumped back to shore and was just about to put the finishing blow on Zabuza when 2 sendons flew out of the woods and into Zabuza's neck, killing him instantly. A second later, a nin with a hunter mask with the symbol for Kiryu on it appeared, and bowed to Kakashi. Thank you for distracting and weakening him so much for me. I've been tracking him for months trying to get a good time to kill him. Excuse, I must destroy the body. The nin then picked up Zabuza and teleported away. Kakashi turned to the group. Great job you 3, Sasuke, Sakura. Great plan staying with Tazuna to protect him from a sneak attack, and thanks for saving me, Naruto. Now then, Tazuna-san, your house is close, correct? Tazuna nodded. Yeah, it's about 5 miles from here. Kakashi then nodded. Good, we need a place to stay while I rest up. I'm gonna take a nap now. See ya later. Kakashi then waved weakly and collapsed on his face in the dirt. Naruto sighed at his sensei's antics. I'll carry his sorry ass. Let's get going, we need to plan for later. The 4 conscious members of the group headed off to Tazuna's house with Kakashi in tow. They arrived shortly later and put Kakashi up in a bed upstairs for the night. He'll be out for a while. Chakra exhaustion, Naruto explained. The next day Kakashi awoke and explained to the team how the hunter nin who collected Zabuza was likely an ally, and that Zabuza would likely be back in about a week. For the next few days the team trained. Sasuke finished up his tree climbing and started water walking, while Sakura started and mastered water walking. On the 5th evening something had to happen though. Everyone was sitting at the table, enjoying the delicious meal Tazuna's daughter, Tsunami, had prepared for them all. They were having a good time and discussing the progress the team was making in their training when Inari, Tazuna's grandson, came in and had to throw everything down the shitter. It doesn't matter how much you train, or how strong you become, Gato has an entire army, you will die. Naruto chuckled. Don't worry about it, kiddo. Gato isn't anything special from all the other rich pompous assholes. Inari stood up from his seat. You're a fool. You have no idea the kind of suffering the people of this village have been through. You're a shinobi. What kind of hardships could you possibly have had to endure in your entire life? Kakashi cringed. Oh no, he didn't just say that, did he? The second Kakashi finished his statement, Naruto slammed both his fists into the table and smashed the table in half. He also unleashed a volley of Kyuubi's killing intent, though much less potent than the time at the bridge. Hardships? Suffering. Did you just say I have no clue what it's like to suffer? Let me tell you something, boy. Hardships, suffering, they are all that I know. I've been hated by my entire village since the day I was born. I've been living on the streets, sleeping in alleys since I was 4 years old. Do you want to know when I finally got a place to live at? 3 months ago. I've been homeless my entire life. Can you describe to me the feeling of being stabbed over and over again with rusted knives and broken bottles? Can you tell me what's like to have no friends, no family, no parents, and to be feared or hated by everyone you ever meet? Do you know what it's like to have people treat you nicely, and then once they have your trust, literally stab you in the back again and again? Do you want to know how bad my life really has been? I made my first friend when I was 10 years old. Do you know who or what that friend was? It was the one being that never judged me, and only felt sadness for what happened to me. The reason I'm treated the way I am is the one person to truly ever accept me. My first and only friend is a demon. But since you've had such a worse life than I have, please, by all means, tell me about it. I know, this outburst is a little extreme, but I just love writing Naruto hardship outbursts, forgive me. Plus this is the best place to write one, and I almost always will write one here in one way or another, sorry. Inari ran out of the room upstairs to his room, crying. Naruto got up and left the house, intent on leveling part of the forest tonight. Sakura had tears streaming down her cheeks and dripping from her chin. Kakashi-sensei, Naruto was just making that up, right? His life hasn't been as bad as he said? Kakashi shook his head. No, it wasn't. Everyone in the room sighed in relief that the boy's life wasn't as bad as he described. Tazuna started speaking. That boy really has quite but he was cut off by Kakashi. Naruto's life has not been as bad as he said, it's been much worse than he said, he just doesn't remember it all, repressed memories and such. Sakura was almost to the point of sobbing, Tsunami was in a similar state, Tazuna looked miserable and Sasuke looked happy. How could his life have possibly been worse than what he said? Sakura asked. Kakashi sighed. Well, he left out the assassination attempts made every week or so by shinobi. He left out the way he was poisoned or beaten daily back at the orphanage when he was 4 or younger. He left out the mobs of villagers that would hunt him on his birthday, trap him, then torture and mutilate him for hours until he would pass out, either from pain or blood loss. Naruto has had the most horrible life I've ever heard of, and he's only 12. I'm surprised that he hasn't gone insane from it all and destroyed the village by now. Everyone in the room, save for Sasuke, gasped and cringed at the descriptions of the things Naruto left out from description, but the last sentence threw them all off. Destroyed the village? How would he do that? Kakashi, sure he's strong, but not that strong. Sakura asked, switching to a questioning tone at the end. Kakashi cringed at his slip of the tongue. I'm just surprised he hasn't tried. They seem to buy it, and Sakura nodded. Well, I'm going to go see if I can't get him to come back. It won't do good for him to stay out all night and brood. She turned and left the house, to go look for Naruto. It really didn't take too long to find him. The chakra and killing intent he was giving off could be felt for miles, and the path of destruction he left was easy enough for a blind and deaf person to follow. Naruto had removed his jacket and mesh shirt during his destructive spree. He was hot and needed to be cool. Sakura snuck up on Naruto, which wasn't too hard since he was focused on destroying the forest. The first thing she noticed was that he was shirtless, which made her blush, but he looked like he had marks all over him. She squinted to better make out the marks, and gasped loudly when she realized what they were. That did get noticed by Naruto, and he whipped around to her. Sakura, what are you doing out here? He called. Sakura came out of the bush she was hiding in without saying a word. She just walked up to Naruto, with her mouth hanging open slightly while staring at his upper body, but not at the muscles, at everything else. This made Naruto uneasy, as he wasn't used to people looking at him with anything but bloodlust and hate. Sakura, what are you staring at? He asked. Sakura walked around behind him and traced a particularly vicious-looking scar that went along his back from his right shoulder blade down to his left lower back. The contact made Naruto shiver. Naruto, I am sorry, I never knew you had it so bad in your life. My mom just told me to stay away from you. She would never say why. But look at you, you're covered in scars. There's almost no skin that isn't scarred. I'm sorry. Naruto-kun, the suffix slipped again. Naruto sighed. It's alright, Sakura. The past is just that, the past. These scars are nothing more than a reminder as to what I've been through in life, and what I must go through to rise above it all, and prove to everyone in the village I'm not what they think I am. Sakura looked confused. What is it, Naruto? What do they think you are that you need to prove them wrong? Naruto frowned. I can't tell you just yet, Sakura. I'm afraid if I do you'll hate me like everyone else in the village does. You're now the second person who has been nice to me, and I don't want to lose that. Sakura frowned. Naruto, I know the things you've been through in life now, and I want to help you. You can tell me whatever it is they think you are. I won't judge you for it for 1 second, I swear. Naruto sighed. Sakura, tell me something. Did anyone in your family get killed in the Kyuubi attack 12 years ago? To Naruto's surprise, Sakura shook her head. No, my family is all civilians. I'm the first shinobi among us. Why? Naruto sighed deeper. Sakura, do you remember the story of the Kyuubi attack from the academy? How the 4th Hokage sacrificed his life to kill Kyuubi? Sakura nodded. Of course I do. Why? Naruto cringed, and hoped he wasn't about to lose. Sakura, that story is a lie. Sakura, a demon of Kyuubi's power is immortal, and cannot be killed by any kind of human means. What truly happened that day is that the 4th Hokage sacrificed his life to seal the Kyuubi into something. Sakura nodded. But what does this have to do with anything, Naruto? Naruto shook his head. The Kyuubi is powerful, too powerful to be contained in any kind of object. It would break free almost instantly. The Kyuubi needed to be sealed inside something that could adapt to its chakra and contain it. It needed to be sealed into a human. But not just any human. An adult's chakra coils would be formed already. Kyuubi's power would have killed the adult instantly, and would have instantly been freed. Kyuubi had to be sealed inside a newborn baby whose coils had not yet developed. Sakura nodded. Okay, BU. I was that baby, Sakura. I have the Kyuubi sealed inside me. The most powerful thing to ever walk the earth is sealed inside me, and the whole village believes I'm the Kyuubi reborn, and that I killed everyone who died in the Kyuubi attack, including the greatest Hokage Konoha has ever seen. Sakura then did two things that was completely not expected, and not understood by Naruto. First, she burst into tears, and then second, she wrapped her arms around him and cried into his shoulder. Naruto, not knowing what to do, just returned the embrace and wrapped his arms around Sakura. Sakura, you okay? Any reason in particular you burst into tears? You don't hate me, do you? He asked, with a hint of hurt and acceptance in his voice. After all, how could anyone like the demon? Sakura just squeezed tighter with her arms around Naruto. Of course, I don't hate you, Naruto. How could anyone hate you just for being born at the wrong time? Those villagers are stupid. Naruto chuckled lightly and spoke softly as Sakura cried on his shoulder. Why can't more people be more like you, Sakura? After a few more minutes of her crying, Naruto noticed her breathing evened out and slowed, and her crying ceased. She was asleep. Naruto gently picked her up bridle style and brought her back to the house and set her down in her bed and tucked her in gently. Maybe someday, more people back home will come to be more like you, Sakura, he said softly as he turned off the light and left the room, closing the door behind him with a satisfying, but annoying click. He then went back out to a clearing in the forest, and fell asleep under the stars for one more night in his sad, lonely life. The next morning in the clearing, a girl with long brown hair walked into the clearing. She had on a pink kimono and had a small basket with her. She spied Naruto and instantly recognized him from the battle at the lake. It's one of those shinobi. Good, I can kill him in his sleep right here and make things easier for Zabuza-sama, she thought, as she walked over towards his prone form. She got down on her knees next to him and was about to bring her hand up to his throat to strangle him, when his arm snapped up and instantly caught her hand. A moment later his eye opened lazily and he looked at her. It's not wise to sneak up on people, especially me. You're lucky you woke me up, or I might have killed you in my sleep. Crap. I need a cover story. Quick, sorry about that. I was just picking some herbs and saw you here. It's not wise to sleep outside, you'll catch a cold. Naruto leaned forward, resting back on his palms. Nah, I'll be fine. I've been sleeping outside almost every night of my life. Never gotten sick before, don't plan on starting now. The girl gave him a questioning look. Why would you sleep outside every night? Naruto frowned at the reminder of his life and sighed. I sleep outside because I live outside. I was homeless my entire life. It wasn't too bad once I was able to get clothes and food when I was 10. So you're out here gathering herbs, are you? For what? The girl shrugged. It's for a medical ointment I'm making. My friend back home got injured recently, and I agreed to help. Naruto nodded him. So how is Zabuza coming along then? I hope he won't be out for too much longer. The girl started to sweat. What? Who is this Zabuza? Naruto grinned. Your chakra signature. It's very unique. It almost feels cold. You have a Kekkai Genkai, don't you? The girl was just about panicking. No one was ever able to tell she had a bloodline by her chakra signature before. Naruto saw she was panicking and raised his hands in a calming gesture. Hey, I don't care if you have a Kekkai Genkai, and I'm also not interested in fighting you right now. Now she was completely confused. What? Why don't you want to fight? I'm unarmed now. You could kill me with no trouble and make your job easier. Naruto shrugged and brought his hand up and counted off. 1. Like you said, you're not armed, no point in that. 2. My mission is to protect Tazuna. I don't see him in any danger here. And 3. I'm not a big fan of hurting pretty girls. The girl frowned. You're a strange one, that for sure. And by the way, I'm not a girl. Yeah, you are. Despite hiding them, you do have. And you also have the body of a developing girl. You can't hide it from me. But as with Zabuza, I don't care and won't blab to anyone. By the way, I don't believe I got your name. Mine is Uzumaki Naruto. My name is Haku. You're quite impressive, Uzumaki-san. No one has ever called my bluff about being a boy. I have a question about you though. You're covered in scars. What happened to you? Naruto frowned. Was he going to have to explain this as everyone that sees him without a shirt? Those scars are all reminders of how much my village loves me. The beatings, tortures, assassination attempts, and everything else over the years, it builds up. Haku frowned. This kid had a worse life than she did. Why didn't your family or friends protect or help you? Naruto chuckled darkly, which deeply unnerved Haku. I don't have any family. Never had any parents or relatives. Haku frowned. Right. Well, that is very sad, Uzumaki-san. If you'll excuse me, I have to bring these herbs to Zabuza. Have to make him better after all. Naruto nodded. Right. Guess I'll see you guys around then, huh? Haku nodded and got up and left the clearing to go help Zabuza. Naruto spent the rest of the day making hundreds upon hundreds of shadow clones and battling them all in large groups against him. By the end of the day he had killed over 1,000 of his clones. In the end he collapsed in the field for the second night from chakra and physical exhaustion, and he slept like a rock. The next day Naruto woke up late in the morning and headed back to the house. He got there and went inside, only to find that no one was there. Right as he was about to call out if anyone was there, he heard Tsunami scream from out in the backyard. Then he heard Inari yell for someone to let go of his mom. Naruto followed the voices to the source. He found Inari in the back with Tsunami being held by two guys with swords. They were average thugs, acting tough with no skills to back it up. While Inari was yelling for them to leave his mom alone, Naruto snuck up behind the two. The last things the two thugs saw was a kunai appear in the throat of their partner. Then they collapsed to the ground in a pool of their own blood. Good job, Inari. You distracted them long enough for me to save your mom. By the way, where is everyone else? No one is in the house. Tsunami, after she collected herself, answered. They all went off to the bridge. Naruto frowned. Judging by the attack here, I would say Zabuza is making his move today. I have to go help them. I'll see you guys around. He took off towards the bridge to go and help his team. Naruto arrived at the bridge about 15 minutes later with his weights on, and things did not look good. Sakura was unconscious near Tazuna. Sasuke was on the ground, covered with Saban needles, and Haku was on the ground not far from Sasuke, though she just looked like she was completely worn out. Kakashi was squaring off from Zabuza but was not looking good. His breathing was ragged and he looked like he was about to drop. And just like that, Kakashi and Zabuza both charged at each other and traded blows. Kakashi nicked Zabuza's arm and Zabuza cut Kakashi deeply across his chest. Kakashi was too worn out and dropped to his knees. Zabuza swung his sword horizontally to take off Kakashi's head in one smooth motion, but less than a foot away from his neck Naruto appeared and blocked the giant Zanbato with two kunai. Oh Christ, I'm going to have to fight you alone. This isn't going to be fun, Naruto said. Zabuza chuckled. You should run home, child. Do you know why I'm called the Demon of the Hidden Mist? Naruto shrugged, while still holding back the blade. Nope. Why? Zabuza grinned from beneath his bandages. I'm called that because many years ago there was a slaughtering of an entire genin class in Kirigakure. They were killed by someone who wasn't even a classmate. They were killed by me. Naruto chuckled darkly back at Zabuza. That's quite a tale. I have many nicknames as well. In my village I'm regarded as the demon, demon brat, and many other things. Would you like to know why I am called that, Zabuza? Zabuza laughed at Naruto. Sure, why not, kid? Why are you regarded as a demon? Naruto laughed evilly. I'm called that because as Naruto spoke this, red chakra started to swirl around him. His whiskers darkened, canines became long fangs, his nails turned into long dangerous claws, his hair became more unruly and feral, and his facial features became more fox-like. But most disturbingly his eyes became fox-shaped, and gone was the deep piercing blue, replaced with dark blazing crimson orbs, with long vertical slit pupils. Naruto grinned, in a much more sinister fox-like manner and spoke in a deeper, colder voice. Because I am one. Naruto and Zabuza jumped back. Zabuza was actually scared for the first time in many years. This chakra was so potent it was visible as it swirled around him. And he truly looked demonic, but he soon overcame his fears and charged at Naruto. The two attacked, trading parries and dodges, either getting the upper hand. But Zabuza had many years of skill and experience over Naruto. He also had a much longer reach than Naruto did with his Zanbato. He soon started to get through Naruto's defense and started to land blows, slicing through Naruto's bare chest, took off his weights for the fight. The wounds didn't last long, steam rose from them as they healed, leaving long scars behind, but the healing of the blows was draining his chakra at an alarming rate. Naruto knew he wouldn't last long at this pace. A moment later Zabuza swung his giant Zanbato like a baseball bat and smashed Naruto across the bridge with the flat side of the blade. Naruto was sent smashing into the guardrail on the other side of the bridge and lay there for a moment. Naruto's mind. Naruto ran up to the cage and yelled out to Kyuubi, Kyuchan, I need more power. I can't defeat him like this. Give me more of your chakra. Kyuubi yelled back, I can't. The seal won't allow me to give any more, and your body is still young, it can't take the stress of more of my chakra. Naruto cursed, well, we're gonna die otherwise. Guess we're taking the scenic route. Naruto jumped up the front of the cage and grabbed the seal on the cage. Kyuubi screamed, no. If you rip it off we'll both die. But it was too late. Naruto had already ripped off the seal halfway. When Kyuubi yelled he tried to put it back, but the half he ripped off disintegrated, leaving half of the seal in place. A second later Naruto was bombarded with all the energy Kyuubi had been trying to force through the seal a moment ago. It smashed into his body and he was ripped from the mindscape with the flow of power. Real world. Naruto exploded with a new wave of power, many times greater than the first one. His body was surrounded with a cloak of red chakra that was pouring off of him. He could feel the chakra tearing his body apart. He could feel his skin ripping away and melting from the intense heat of the chakra. Behind him 4 tails of chakra formed. His blood mixed with the red chakra surrounding him, which condensed around him, making him look like a miniature 4-tailed version of Kyuubi. Naruto roared in unimaginable amounts of pain, then looked at Zabuza, the one that made him do this to himself. He took off at an incredible speed and appeared before Zabuza. Before he knew what happened, Naruto brought his right paw in to rake Zabuza with his claws, but Zabuza raised his blade in time. But with Naruto's new strength the blade was sent flying from his hands and embedded into the bridge. Naruto reared back to attack Zabuza again, but he dodged over and over again, getting slightly burned from the closeness of the chakra to him. Eventually Zabuza started to tire from the burns and dodging all of the attacks, and eventually, Naruto caught him. He raked his left paw across his chest, leaving 4 large very deep gashes from his claws. It was definitely fatal. Zabuza would bleed out and die within a few minutes. But Naruto wouldn't give him the pleasure living that long. Right as he was about to crush his skull with his foot, Naruto heard a loud whiny chuckle from the opposite end of the bridge. Gato stood at the end of the bridge with an army of about 200 thugs and mercenaries. "Thank you for dealing with Zabuza and his bitch of an assistant. That little bitch broke my arm. You saved me the trouble of having to kill them when this was over." Zabuza growled and coughed up some blood. "You bastard. You were going to betray us the whole time?" Gato grinned like a lunatic and laughed. "Of course I was. Why would I waste so much money on you, when all these thugs cost less than half what you charged?" Zabuza coughed up some more blood and looked up to Naruto. "Kid, I have a favor to ask you. My mission is over, you and your team are safe, and I'm going to die. Take my blade Kubikiri Hocho, God I hope I spelled that right, and kill Gato and all of those scum for me, and take Haku, she's your tool now, keep her safe and bring her back to your village, please." Naruto, despite being in horrible pain from the chakra, nodded his head and jumped over to Zabuza's blade and ripped it from the bridge, then leveled his burning gaze on Gato and his men, which scared every one of them to the core of their beings. And then he growled, a low menacing growl, like when a wolf stalks its prey. Gato turned and ran to the back of the group of men while yelling, "Kill it!" Naruto charged the group of men, Kubikiri Hocho in hand, and ripped through them like tissue paper. Body parts and blood flew in every direction. Heads rolled along the bridge as blood and organs splattered along the concrete, staining it red. Naruto ripped through the entire group in under a minute, leaving only Gato standing, at the end in a puddle of liquid, but it wasn't blood, no, it was Gato's own urine. Naruto walked up to Gato, and towered over him in his mini Kyuubi form, and growled menacingly again, before bringing the Zanbato down vertically, splitting the man in two from skull to groin. After he killed them all, he stalked back over to Zabuza. When he got there, Zabuza was on his last leg. "Is he dead? Did you kill them all?" he asked. Naruto nodded. "Good, then you held up your end of the deal. I declare you the new owner of Kubikiri Hocho." And Haku. Zabuza then closed his eyes and took his last breath. The power that was running through Naruto continued to tear his body apart, but the shroud of chakra faded, leaving a very grotesque Naruto behind. All of his skin was missing, and all of the flesh below his skin was charred black, or turned to ash and flaking away. Naruto's eyes still burned crimson, and his body continued to deteriorate, with chunks of his body breaking off and landing on the bridge. When they met with the bridge, they would crumble into piles of ash. Naruto raised his hand before his face and looked at it, and then his entire arm crumbled away into ash and fell to the bridge. Kakashi woke back up from his unconsciousness and saw Naruto deteriorating, and saw Zabuza's body. He ran over and kneeled before Naruto. "Naruto, what happened to you?" He really looked horrible. His flesh was all black, and there was a growing pile of ash on the ground around him. He was missing an arm and chunks all over him. Naruto pointed at Zabuza slowly and rasped out some words. "Zabuza, I won, keep Haku safe, bring to Konoha." Naruto then pointed at himself. "Kyuubi's power dying, tell Sakura thanks for believing." Naruto's other arm then crumbled into ash on the floor. Naruto looked down, then looked back up to Kakashi. "Goodbye." Naruto fell over backwards and hit the ground, and the majority of him collapsed into ashes on the floor. His sandals, burned up pants, and his headband was all that was left. Kakashi sighed. "I failed my team again. I promised I would never let anything happen to them, and now on our first C rank Naruto died." Kakashi shook his head and made 4 shadow clones. Each one picked up Sakura, Sasuke, and Haku, and Tazuna, who passed out when Naruto turned into the 4 tails. He then carried all of them back to Tazuna's house. Oh no, he didn't just do that, he left it a cliffy. Naruto's defeat of Zabuza cost him his life. What will happen in the world of Naruto now? Hours later, everyone at Tazuna house finally woke up. The first question everyone asked was why Haku was there. Kakashi told him that Zabuza said to bring her back with him. The second question was where was Naruto, and what happened to Zabuza. Kakashi hung his head and sighed deeply. "Zabuza is dead. Naruto died killing him." Sakura and Tsunami gasped and started to cry. "What happened, Kakashi-sensei?" Sakura sobbed. Kakashi shook his head. "I don't know. Zabuza incapacitated me, and when I came to, Zabuza was dead, and Naruto was next to him. His entire body was burned horribly and was collapsing into ash. But even in that state he was alive and told me that he defeated Zabuza, and that by using a special power inside of himself he destroyed himself to kill him. He also said to keep Haku safe. And he told me to tell you thanks for believing Sakura, though I don't know why." Sakura burst into full-blown tears with Naruto's message and went to her room. Everyone was more than a bit sad that night, and went to sleep. In a few days after everyone was healed, they would go and finish the bridge. Back out on the bridge, Kyuubi was not going to let herself die. But more importantly, she was not going to let Naruto die because of her. She was going to save him. She had to save him. Using her chakra, she was creating Naruto a new body. Somehow his soul had not left his body yet, so she was able to make a new body for him and put both his and her souls into it. And somehow the half of the seal that was remaining transferred as well. The entire process took about 2 days, and Naruto was alive again. He opened his eyes. Everything was so clear, crystal even and blissful. "Am I dead? Is this heaven?" he asked himself. "No, you're far from dead, Naruto-kun," Kyuubi called. "Kyu-chan? What happened?" "The last thing I remember was being burned to ash," talking to Kakashi, "then nothing." "That's true, Naruto, that is what happened, and you did die. I reconstructed you a new body using our souls and my chakra. This body is different from your old body. Naruto leaned up and looked himself over. So, what's so different? I feel about the same. No, actually I feel fantastic. I feel stronger than ever, and better than ever. Exactly, this new body. Well, you're not human anymore, Naruto-kun, since I used my soul and chakra as well to create the new body, so the body took after me. The body is that of a demon. You, Naruto-kun, are now a demon. Well, half demon for now. If you feel the top of your head, you'll notice 2 ears. You'll also notice you have a tail now. Naruto did as Kyuubi instructed, and sure enough, on top of his head were 2 long fox ears. They were blood red, and the tips were jet black. He also had a tail now. It too was blood red, tipped in jet black. Anything else, Q-chan? Kyuubi snickered. Well, your canines are now long fangs. Your nails are now razor-sharp claws. Your eyes are now crimson and fox-shaped. Your whiskers are much darker. And last but not least, your hair is a different color now. 3 different colors actually. Nanny! Naruto yelled, out loud. He immediately grabbed his hide off the ground and polished it on his pants, and used it to look, and sure enough his hair was different all right. The roots were still brilliant blonde, but after about an inch or 2 they faded into blood red, and then, like his ears and tails, it faded to jet black at the tips. There's good news though, Naruto-kun. Kyuubi cheered. Naruto grunted. And what's that? You can hide your ears and tail. But that's it, Joy. So instead of being a full-fledged fox, I'll just look like I'm possessed by you. And since when have you started calling me Naruto-kun? Kyuubi mentally shrugged. Dunno, it bother you? Not really. And hey, if I'm a demon now, shouldn't I have 9 tails like you? Nope, you see, you only ripped the seal halfway off, so now it needs time for the rest to fade away. As it fades, you're going to gain more tails, and become more powerful. With each new tail you will gain new powers. Though they may be different than mine, you will definitely end up being able to control the 7 elements. And then you might also gain the ability to control sub-elements, or gain other abilities. You see, for the first 7 tails you gained control of the 7 elements, then the last 2 tails could be anything from sub-elements to, if you're really powerful, leadership of the fox realm. In other words, become the ruler of the foxes. Or like me, ruler of all the tailed beasts and demons. Wait right there, you keep saying the 7 elements, but there's only 5 elements. Hee, you're wrong. There are 7 elements: fire, lightning, wind, water, earth, light, and darkness. Wow, I never knew about light and darkness. Can any humans use light or darkness? Kyuubi nodded yes. The 4th Hokage's Hiraishin was a combination of lightning and light, and the Nara clan's shadow techniques are very limited versions of darkness techniques. Cool. Anything else we have to cover? No, and I suggest you go back to the house. You're already going to freak them out with your new look, and the fact that you're back from the dead. Don't forget Zabuza's blade though. That is the perfect zanbato to try the style of kenjutsu you found. Wait, Q-chan, how do I hide my tails and ears? Just imagine them disappearing. Naruto nodded. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Naruto made his tail and ears disappear, picked up Zabuza's blade, and found his weights at the start of the bridge. He put them on and noticed he didn't even feel the weight. What gives? Now that you're a Hanyu, your physical strength has skyrocketed to far beyond human levels. You're going to have to spend a while upping those weight seals. Note: I now have free reign to make his weights fucking heavy. Naruto continued towards Tazuna's house. When he got to the house, he was surprised the door was closed. Then again, it was very early in the morning still. The sun was barely off the horizon. He knocked lightly on the door, and was surprised when Tsunami called for him to come in from the other side. Don't they think to check who's at the door before inviting them in? He mused. Oh yeah, Naruto-kun, couple more things I forgot. Your senses are much more powerful now. Your vision is much better. You can see in the distance much clearer, and your senses of smell and hearing have been increased many times over. Also, last but not least, now that you're a demon, you can take on the form of a fox like the rest of us if you want. Really now, how do I turn into a fox? You just have to imagine yourself turning into a fox. You can even control how big or small you want to be. Although you can only become so large based on the power you hold, you can also control how many tails you display as a fox. Once you have more, that is, you can go from the size of a cute little baby kit to the size of me, once you're fully powered. Sweet, I am so going to take advantage of that later. For now there is business to attend to. Naruto walked into Tazuna's house through the door, with Zabuza's Kubikiri Hocho on his shoulder. Good morning, Tsunami-san, Naruto called. He didn't notice his voice was an octave or so deeper than before. Tsunami turned around and saw Naruto, and fainted, dropping the plate she was washing on the floor, where it shattered into about 15 pieces, along with her body. The loud crash of the plate breaking caught the attention of everyone else, who were in the other room having breakfast. Kakashi got up and came into the kitchen and saw Naruto, in his new glory. And Naruto? Naruto nodded. Yes, it's me. Yes, I'm alive. Yes, it is a miracle. We need to have a nice conversation outside, now. Naruto grabbed Kakashi by the arm and disappeared in a blink, dragging Kakashi all the way behind him into the forest. Kakashi got his footing and broke Naruto's hold on his arm, freeing himself. Okay, Naruto, if that really is you, spill, what the hell happened? I watched you die on the bridge, and you look like you've been possessed by the Kyuubi. Naruto nodded. Okay, to start, yes, you saw me die on the bridge. No, I am not Kyuubi, and no, I'm only slightly possessed. Kakashi's eye widened. What? Naruto sighed. Okay, I died. Kyuubi couldn't stand to let either me or her die. So she rebuilt us a new body using both of our souls and her chakra. And bam, here I am. And about the possession, I'm a Hanyu now since the body was created with Kyuubi's demonic chakra and soul. Kakashi just stared at Naruto for a full few minutes. How can I be sure you're not the Kyuubi just in disguise? Naruto shrugged. You can, I guess. Just trust me is all I can say. Hell, if I was Kyuubi I would be long gone by now. Why would I come back to the squad if I was Kyuubi? Kakashi didn't like the idea of having to trust him that he wasn't Kyuubi, but had no choice. Are you really a Hanyu now though? Naruto nodded and released his tail. Real as can be. Then he turned into a fox, about the size of a horse. Well, cool. Never tried this before. Naruto spoke as a fox, in a demonic tone. He then walked around the clearing, swishing his tail this way and that. I think I can get used to being a fox. It's so relaxing and comfortable. Kakashi shook his head at Naruto's antics. Yup, you're definitely Naruto. Let's go back to the house. It seems you have a whole lot of explaining to do to your team now since you look the way you do. Naruto nodded his head, but didn't turn back into a human. I'm gonna stay as a fox for now. I like it a lot. Kakashi entered the house. Naruto stayed hidden from view. Kakashi got everyone outside and stood before them all. Alright, this is going to take a while to explain and everything, but we have a new addition to the team. Right after Kakashi finished his intro, Naruto jumped off the roof into view. He landed before the group and looked at them all, then nodded to them all. He turned to Kakashi. So, I guess we should begin this little game, eh? Everyone, except Kakashi's jaw dropped, and Kakashi just nodded to him. Right, the battle with Zabuza ended up a little different than what Kakashi here told you all. Uzumaki Naruto is not dead, he was revived, though he was changed a lot. You see, Naruto is not like normal people. The night he was born, the Kyuubi was sealed inside him to protect Konoha. This was why the whole village hated him and beat him. They saw him as the Kyuubi and not as the prison that contained the Kyuubi. To Naruto's surprise, the person he expected to understand it the least nodded and spoke. TCH. The idiots. Anyone could see that the dobe wasn't the Kyuubi. Sure, he's weird, but he's not evil. Naruto nodded at Sasuke. Exactly. So you see, over the years Naruto met Kyuubi one night when he was attacked. After that he and Kyuubi spoke often and became friends, great friends. When Naruto died on the bridge, Kyuubi could not let herself, or Naruto die. So she reconstructed a new body for Naruto using both of their souls, and her chakra. But the new body is demonic. Naruto is now a Hanyu, a half-demon. I am here now to make you understand that he is still the same person he was, regardless of what he looks like. Everyone nodded in understanding and then Sakura spoke up. Not to be rude or anything, but who are you? Your voice sounds strangely familiar. Naruto smiled at Sakura, which looked like he was baring his fangs at her. I am him. Uzumaki Naruto, at your service, he said while lowering his head in a mock bow. And Naruto? She asked. Naruto laughed in his demonic voice and poofed back into his regular Hanyu form, with his new features. Yo, yeah, it's me. I wanted to see how you guys would react to the news without knowing it was me, and I have to say I'm very happy with the way you took it. Sasuke smirked at Naruto. TCH, what did you think? We would try to kill you or something? Dope. Naruto frowned. Actually? I had no idea, but trying to kill me was on the list of possibilities, yeah? Kakashi cleared his throat, getting everyone's attention. Okay everyone, we're going to the bridge to finish it up. Zabuza was already buried the other day, Naruto, while you were whatever you were. Naruto nodded. Okay, let's go. Wait, where's Haku? Right as he said it, Haku came around the corner. Haku, when Zabuza died he gave me Kubikiri Hocho, and you. He said you were my tool now to use as I see fit. Haku nodded. Yes, Naruto-sama. Naruto shook his head. I would much rather have you as a good friend than a servant. Haku. Haku shook her head. I cannot do that, Naruto-sama. Zabuza requested I be your servant, not your friend. Naruto frowned and walked slowly up to Haku. He lifted Kubikiri Hocho from his shoulder and held it out next to her neck. I'm going to give you two choices. You can be my servant, or you can be my friend. If you choose servant you die, friend you live. What will it be? Haku frowned. That isn't very fair, Naruto-sama. But fine, I'll choose your friend. But I will still treat you as my superior, and will follow your orders. Naruto sighed and put the giant blade back on his shoulder. Fine, I'm never going to order you to do anything anyway. Now let's all head out to the bridge and fix the stupid thing up. I want to train when we get back. Naruto-kun, about your training. Yes? What about it? Well, because of this being a new body you lost all your past experience with chakra, so you're going to have to retrain your chakra control. Also, if you haven't yet noticed, all your scars from your past body are gone. Naruto quickly opened his jacket and looked at his chest. It was perfect. Not a scar or scratch anywhere. Damn it! Naruto yelled out loud, which got everyone's attention. What's wrong, Naruto-sama? Haku asked. Naruto frowned. All my scars are gone. Damn. 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 Now I'm gonna have to recover myself in scars. That'll be fun. Sakura grimaced. Naruto, why would you do that to yourself? I think you should leave the scars gone. They just remind you of your life, don't they? Exactly. They remind me of all the things I've dealt with, and the things I've survived. They are one of my best motivators to continue to strive. I'm going to get them again, Naruto yelled. Sakura frowned. I think that's a stupid idea, Naruto. Plus, how are you going to get more scars? Naruto grinned. which looked extremely evil with his new facial features simple. A week or two of the training I need again and I'll be covered in no time. Plus I know a few people I can spar with that would probably gladly give me some more. Kakashi cleared his throat to gain everyone's attention. Right. Well, let's get to the bridge. I'd like to start heading back to Konoha by tomorrow. Everyone then walked down to the bridge. When they got there everyone was a bit startled, except Kakashi who was the one to bury Zabuza, and to bring everyone back after Naruto's fight. There were huge, paw-like indents melted into the concrete from when Naruto took on 4 tails of chakra. There were streaks and spots of blood everywhere from Naruto's body being ripped apart by the chakra. In the center of all the action was a pool of dried blood where Zabuza had lay, and next to it was a pile of ashes, Naruto's remains. The end of the bridge was not a very pretty sight. The entire 50-foot area had been dyed red with the blood of the Gato's mercenaries. The bodies had already been taken care of thanks to Kakashi. Tazuna frowned. This is going to take a while. Naruto smiled. Even a regular smile of his was unnerving now. I'll help you out, Tazuna-san. Naruto made the hand seal and called out Kage Bunshin no Jutsu. After all, he didn't need chakra control for it, he just had to force all he had into it. The smoke cleared, revealing about 350 Naruto clones. Naruto smiled and waved a hand in a dramatic manner towards the clones. Here's your workers. You should have the bridge fixed and finished in no time. And indeed it was. With all of Naruto's clones helping out, the bridge was finished, cleaned, and repaired before the day was out. Everyone went home and Tsunami made a big congratulatory dinner for the completion of the bridge and the removal of Gato. After everyone had a very good meal, they all went to sleep. Naruto elected to go into fox form and sleep outside. He realized he enjoyed being a fox a lot, and found it much easier to rest as one too. He drifted off to sleep fairly soon. Mindscape. Naruto opened his eyes and found himself in the cozy house that now represented his mind. But he instantly knew something was off. He wasn't alone, and it wasn't Kyuubi that was unnerving him. This person was different. Good to finally see you again, kid. Naruto wiped his head to the side, and there standing next to him was Zabuza. Zabuza! What the hell are you doing in my mind? And why aren't you dead? Zabuza chuckled. I didn't get to explain this back then, but Kubikiri Hocho is a sentient blade, and when its previous user dies, a part of its soul gets absorbed into it. The spirit of the past user then helps the next user, in anything from sword strategies to, well, I dunno, but anything. Sue, you're saying that because you died the blade took part of your soul, and now you're in my mind, and you're supposed to help me? Zabuza nodded. Well, I might as well introduce you to your roommate then, huh? Zabuza cocked his head to the side slightly. Huh? Naruto chuckled. You forget already? Okay then. Q-chan. Wake up and come here. On the opposite side of the cage a low growl could be heard, and then Kyuubi appeared before the bars, looking tired. Naruto-kun, haven't we discussed that just because I'm powerful doesn't mean I don't need beauty sleep? Zabuza outright laughed at the antics of the most frightening thing to ever live. This caught the attention of Kyuubi, who stared right at him. Naruto-kun, what the hell is this guy doing here? Naruto chuckled. Kyuubi meets Zabuza Momochi, demon of the hidden mist, and more importantly, your new roommate. Kyuubi took a quick step back and for a fox did a good job of looking downright confused. Nanny. Zabuza's blade, Kubikiri Hocho, is sentient, and when the past owner dies it absorbs part of their souls so they can teach the next wielder of the sword, or in my case he can be a jackass. Zabuza frowned. Hey. I am not a jackass. Naruto chuckled. Sure you're not. Well, we will see in time. Also we'll see how much you help me. For now I'm going to sleep now. Got a long journey tomorrow. Naruto then faded from the mindscape and fell into a deep restful sleep for the first time in his new body. The next morning everyone woke up fairly early. Tazuna convinced them to stay for the naming ceremony, and they did. The now 5-man group and Tazuna and his family went to the bridge for the naming ceremony. Tazuna walked in front of the crowd. We have come to the decision that it is only right that this bridge be named after the one who saved it from destruction, and saved all of Wave Country from liquidation, the one who defeated the missing Nin Zabuza, along with Gato and his army of thugs. We christened this the Great Naruto Bridge. Naruto slapped himself on the forehead and walked out before everyone and addressed them. I'm honored that you would want to name this bridge after me. But even I would have died while fighting Zabuza if not for the help I received. I would much rather this bridge be named for the one who saved my life. And by extension everyone of my team and all of Wave Country. I feel it would be more appropriate if it was named the Great Kyuubi Bridge or the Great Kitsune Bridge. Tazuna tapped his chin for a moment, and then announced, then it's settled, from this day forth this bridge shall be known as the Great Kitsune Bridge. The whole village erupted into cheers and yells. Naruto and the rest of their group left Wave while waving behind them. Once out of sight Naruto turned into his fox form again, about the size of a horse, and walked with the rest of the group. Kakashi frowned. Must you really stay like that, Naruto? It weirds me out. Fox. Naruto nodded. It really is a lot more comfortable than walking around on 2 legs. Everything just flows and feels great. Not to mention I'm a lot faster than on 2 legs. The group was going at high speeds on the way back now that they didn't have Tazuna walking at a civilian pace with them. But Sakura, being not very well trained, began to tire after a few hours of tree hopping, and Kakashi announced it would take a 20-minute rest for Sakura to get ready. But Naruto thought of an idea. We don't have to stop Kakashi if they want to. Sakura and Haku can ride on my back. I don't mind, so it's up to them. Sakura blushed at the thought of riding Naruto. Yeah, I guess we can do that. It will get us back home faster, so you're sure? Haku just nodded. Naruto padded over before the two of them and lay down on the ground in front of them. Hop on, and hold on to my fur. Kakashi, can you and Sasuke go any faster? Kakashi looked to Sasuke, who nodded. Yeah, we can. Why? Naruto slowly got up from the ground with his new cargo cause. Let's kick this up a notch. Naruto started to walk forward, then it turned into a high-speed bound. Kakashi and Sasuke both passed him, and went ahead. So it's a race you want, huh? Girls, hold on tight. Naruto increased his pace and caught back up to Kakashi and Sasuke, and then blew their metaphorical doors off. The group continued at a breakneck pace like that all the way back to Konoha, racing the whole way. With Naruto, and consequently the girls not needing any rest stops, they made it to Konoha by nightfall. About 1 mile out from the village, Naruto turned back into his human form and put on the black hooded cloak Tazuna had given him to hide his new features for until it was a good time to reveal them. They made it past the guards without incident and headed for the Hokage Tower. They went into the office and Kakashi stood in front of the group. Hokage-sama, the mission was a success, though there were quite a few unexpected changes to the mission, and in a way there was one casualty, though that's where things get confusing. Sarutobi chewed on his pipe and thought, what kind of unexpected changes? Kakashi sighed. This was going to take a while. Tazuna lied about the danger he was in. We ended up going against 2 Chunins and then 1 Jounin and a high-level Chunin. And an army of about 200 thugs. Sarutobi nodded and pointed to the cloaked figure and the girl. And who are those two? One moment please, I'll get to that in just a moment. The one casualty was Naruto Uzumaki. Though I'm not sure how to handle it, I suppose his death needs to be recorded. Sarutobi sighed. He had liked Naruto. It was sad to hear the boy died on his first C rank, even if it did turn A rank. And those two are? Kakashi pointed at the girl. Well, the girl's name is Haku. She is the high Chunin level Nin I spoke of. After Naruto defeated the Jounin declared Haku as Naruto's property, and sent her to come back with us to Konoha. Kakashi cleared his throat and the boy is, well, maybe you'd like to introduce yourself. Naruto reached up a clawed hand and pulled down the hood, revealing his blonde, red, and black hair, red eyes and other changed features. Heya, Hokage-sama. And this is where the casualty sorta part comes into play. Sarutobi gasped when he saw Naruto's appearance. He also dropped his pipe onto the floor. He also jumped over his desk and slammed Naruto into the wall by his throat. Kyuubi. The whole team, Haku counted, gasped when the Hokage of their village attacked Naruto. Naruto frowned at the Hokage and called to his team, you guys can go. I think me and the Hokage need to have a talk about everything that's happened. And don't worry, I'll cover any other details about the mission if they're needed. Naruto then pried the Hokage's hand from his throat, far too easily for the Sarutobi's liking, and dropped down the foot he was being held off the ground and landed with a room-shaking thud. Naruto walked over to a seat in front of the desk and sat. He then motioned for the Hokage to do the same. Once he did, Naruto's team released the breath they didn't know they were holding and left the office. Once they were gone, Naruto frowned at the Hokage. You were the last person I expected to judge me based on looks, Hokage-sama. Sarutobi had the shame to hang his head. I'm sorry, Naruto. Just those eyes and the features. What happened to you? You look like the Kyuubi possessed you. Naruto sighed. This was going to take a while. Alright. First, I've known of Kyuubi for a while now. I found out when I turned 10. After I was attacked I met her. She's actually quite nice. Anyway, she's been talking and teaching to me since we met, and it has helped a lot. So during the mission to Wave we were attacked, as Kakashi said. We were attacked by Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the hidden mist. Well, my team was attacked. I had slept in from training and arrived at the end of the fight. Sasuke, Sakura and Haku had all been knocked out from various things. I arrived right as Kakashi was about to be killed. I was able to stop him from getting killed, and then I had to fight Zabuza on my own. I was losing the fight bad. Despite drawing on some of Kyuubi's power, I forced her to give me much more chakra, about 4 taels worth, and using the power I easily defeated Zabuza and Gato and his men. But at a price. The chakra was far too powerful for my body to handle. As I was fighting, it was tearing away at my body. I felt my skin melt away and my flesh and organs turn to ash. In the end I died. My body crumbled into ash after I won the fight. But Kyuubi refused to let either of us die, so she used both her and my souls, and her chakra to reform me a new body. But since it was her chakra and soul making the body is half demon. So now I am half demon. I am a Hanyu. Sarutobi listened intently to the entire story, and in the end he still said, prove that you're a Hanyu, and also prove you're still Naruto. Naruto sighed. Is everyone going to ask me this? It's a little small in here, so I guess I'll scale it down a wee bit. Naruto disappeared and was replaced by a blood-red fox, with black-tipped ears, tail, black paws, and muzzle. It was about the size of a large dog and had blood-red eyes just like Naruto. Now, about me still being Naruto, I have no way to prove it except maybe the fact that I hate all the villagers in this town, and I will become the strongest being on the earth. After Sarutobi got over the shock of seeing Naruto turn into a demon fox, he nodded. I suppose I'll believe you for now. So did anything else of interest happen during the mission? Naruto nodded and turned back into a human. He then took out a scroll from his pouch, unrolled it and unsealed the giant Zanbato that was Zabuza's. I got myself a new sword. When I defeated Zabuza he passed it on to me along with Haku. Sarutobi nodded again. So what do you plan on doing with the girl? Naruto nodded. She already knows I don't want her to be my servant. She said she'll be my friend, but she's still going to follow my orders and call me Naruto-sama. But if you would, I would like her to be placed as a Chunin. She has a unique bloodline. but I don't want her to be forced into the Clan Restoration Act by the council, so if that could be kept secret would be nice. Sarutobi nodded once more and pulled a Konoha Hittite out of one of the drawers of his desk. Very well then, Naruto. Once you give her this headband, she will be an official Konoha Chunin. Now I suggest you go train. The Chunin exams are in 2 weeks and I won't be surprised if Kakashi enters your team. Naruto bowed down to Sarutobi. Thanks for the tip, Hokage-sama. And thanks for trusting me even with my new appearance. Naruto swung Kubikiri Hocho back onto his shoulder and put his hood back over his head, casting a shadow over his face. Once finished, he walked out of the office and found Haku in the waiting room in the lobby. Ah, Haku, I'm glad you waited. I would have hated to have to track you down, even if it would have been easy. Here, this is for you. Naruto handed her the Hittite. Once you put that on, you will be an official Konoha Chunin. Welcome to Konoha. Haku accepted the headband and tied it to her head. I accept this duty. Naruto smiled at her from beneath his hood, which looked downright terrifying with his glowing red eyes. He then bid her good luck and left to start retraining his chakra control and to rebuild his scars. For the first week he used over 1,000 clones per day to do chakra control exercises. By the end of the week he was back up to full control, and he was very happy with it. He had also raised the levels of his weights until they were heavy on him, and they now were a combined weight of about 4,700 pounds. He also always carried Kubikiri Hocho with him, adding an extra 300 pounds of weight to a grand total of 5,000 pounds. Sure, he could seal away the sword, but he loved the looks on people's faces when the cloaked figure walked down the street with the infamous demon of the hidden mists, legendary Zanbato, slung over his shoulder. For the second week of his training he sparred with hundreds of Zanbato-wielding clones. He used it to gain a better control and usefulness for his Zanbato. It also gained him a very large count of huge scars all over his chest, back, and arms from blows that got through. On the third day he went out looking for a real sparring partner. He was looking for a certain sadistic purple-haired kunoichi that was legendary for her strangeness. It didn't take him long to find her. He found her at a dango shop, blowing through dango-like air. He tapped on her shoulder gently, and she immediately whipped around with a kunai in hand. Midarashi Anko? He asked. She grinned at him evilly. Maybe. What do you want? Naruto chuckled darkly. I'd like to spar with you for a few hours. I'm sure you'll have a great time cutting me up. And I have no objections. I'm actually trying to get more scars. Anko's face lit up like a kid in a candy store. When and where? Naruto smiled from beneath his hood. Too easy. How about now? Follow me. Anko nodded and scarfed down her last few dango and followed him out to his own personal training ground, which was extremely beat up and worn now. Naruto stopped in the middle of the ground and turned to Anko, and she spoke up. So, care to tell me who I'm fighting? There's been a rumor spreading around the village that some jounin knocked off Zabuza Momochi and took his blade. You've got hit blade, so I can see they weren't lying. But who are you? Naruto laughed like a maniac. They think a jounin got him? No, I think it's very unlikely any jounin of the village would have defeated him. I was there when Hatake Kakashi himself was defeated by him. And there aren't many in this village more powerful than him. Anko had a fire burning in her eyes. If you're not a jounin, then who are you? Some hunter nin? Naruto shook his head and laughed again, and then dropped his hood, revealing his features to Anko. I am nothing but a genin, an outcast in this village, like yourself. Me and you are a lot alike, Anko, you know. We're both hated for things that we had no control over, you for Orochimaru, me for Kyuubi. Anko's grin suddenly disappeared and was replaced with a sad look. Ah, there you are, Anko. I was wondering if you ever let the real you out, not the eccentric mask you use, but the real you. Anko looked right into Naruto's glowing crimson eyes. How can you go through life like that? Without any kind of mask or protection? Naruto sighed. I'd rather have them all hate me for what I am, than like me as something I'm not. I tried using a mask in the academy, one of stupidity and immaturity, then we left, and I was put on my team. I ended up putting my teammate in the hospital's mental ward when I threatened her for making fun of me once the mask was gone. I find masks only hurt you more. But your life is yours alone, and if your mask works for you and it makes you happy, then I'm happy for you. Just to be nice, I'm going to put away Kubikiri Hocho, and I won't take off all my weights. I'd like to cut a lot today, so do your worst. Naruto sealed away the Zanbato and took off his jacket since he didn't want it to get cut up too. He tossed the jacket off to the side and it smashed into the ground, making a large dust cloud and a large crater. Anko made 2 kunai materialize from her coat sleeves and charged, and Naruto charged back, with no weapons at all. 6 hours later, Naruto and Anko finished their multiple spars. Naruto looked across his upper body and checked all the new scars all over him. Some from Anko tracing kunai across his flesh just hard enough to draw blood, other deep gashes and stabs from Anko being frisky. Naruto chuckled at all his fresh new scars. Thanks, Anko. I'm starting to get back to my old village hated look already. Wanna do it again every day for the rest of the week? Anko looked like she melted right on the spot. You know I love blood, and spilling it. I'll see you there, Naruto-kun. She then disappeared. Naruto gathered up his jacket, and put his cloak back on, and pulled the hood up and went home to get clean. Naruto spent the rest of the week playing with Anko in the afternoons while training with Kubikiri Hocho in the mornings against his clones. It was the day before the Chunin exams were scheduled to start, and Kakashi called them all for a team meeting. Naruto knew he was going to give them their sign-up papers on the way over to Training Ground 7 when he was walking past an alley when he heard a kid yell from down the alley. He recognized the voice as the grandson of the Hokage. He ran down the alley and came upon some kid holding Konohamaru off the ground by his collar. The kid had a black bodysuit on, and a black hood that had cat ears on it. He had purple face paint all over his face, and something wrapped in bandages on his back. Behind to his right was a girl. She had blonde hair that was pulled into 4 short ponytails. She had on a short pink dress and a large metal object on her back, and they both had Sunagakure headbands. Naruto walked up to the scene casually with his giant sword on his shoulder, and his hood over his face. He walked until he was a sword's length from the boy in black and spoke in a cold, piercing voice. Is there a problem here? The boy in black shook his head. No problem at all. This little punk knocked into me, and I'm just going to teach him a lesson. What the hell are you gonna do about it? Naruto moved, and in a blink his giant Zanbato was in between him and Konohamaru, and was pressed up against his neck. Well, you should know who you're dealing with before you make threats. Maybe I should remove that empty head of yours. You did just threaten the grandson of the 3rd Hokage after all. The boy started to sweat and dropped the boy and raised his hands. Okay, I'm sorry. Shit. Right as Naruto was lowering his blade from the boy's throat, a new scent appeared. The smell is off. It doesn't smell entirely human. What is it, Kyuubi? That's the Ichibi smell. Shikaku must have been trapped in a human too. Ichibi? Why does he smell like a mix of a raccoon and a dog? Because he is a mix of a raccoon and a dog. He's a tanuki. Oh, guess I'll grade him then. You can come down now, Naruto called. Half a second later a boy appeared between the black-dressed boy and the blonde girl. He had bright red hair, the kanji for love over his left eye, and had a large gourd on his back. I must praise you. I did not feel your chakra at all, but your scent was a dead giveaway. The redhead looked at his 2 siblings. Kankuro, you're a disgrace and you're lucky I don't kill you right here, and Temari, you're a disgrace for not stopping him. Now come on, we're leaving. They both in unison said. Sorry, Gaara. Gaara glared at the shrouded man. Who are you? You are powerful. Naruto chuckled very darkly and dropped his hood, revealing himself, and said just one cryptic sentence that made Gaara very unnerved. While you contain 1, I am 9. He also glared at Kankuro with his glowing crimson eyes. If you want to stay alive in the Chunin exams, I suggest you don't fight me. Kankuro and Temari gulped. That kid's a genin? Did you see the blade he had? It was the demon of the hidden mist blade. How did he get it? Temari said. Kankuro shook his head. I dunno, but I sure as hell don't want to fight him. Naruto put his hood back on and went to go meet his team, and he was dead inaccurate. Kakashi was there to give them sign-up sheets for the Chunin exams. They were to go to the 3rd floor of the academy, room 301, tomorrow at 9 a.m. Naruto spent the rest of the day training until nightfall. He then turned into a fox and curled up in and fell asleep. Ever since becoming a Hanyu, he would only go to his house to bathe. Now that he had a place to sleep, he fell in love with sleeping outside. Naruto met up with his team at the academy and the 3 went inside. They went up the stairs and came before a huge group of genins standing before 2 Chunins in henge. They weren't even on the right floor. Naruto felt like helping out the little genins and walked up to the Chunins with his huge blade hung on his shoulder, Sakura and Sasuke following behind him. The 2 boys held up their hands and told them to get lost. They weren't letting anyone into the room for the exam or else. Naruto laughed darkly in response to their threat. In less than a blink the sign over the room fell from the wall and Naruto settled his cleaver back onto his shoulder. He snatched the sign from the air and showed it to the Chunins. If you're keeping us from the exams, why are you guarding the wrong door? Or did you two get fooled by such a simplistic genjutsu too? Naruto turned his back to the guards. Maybe you should go back to your guard duty, guys. You can't even hide a henge well. The 2 Chunin sputtered and turned back to their real forms. How did you see through our henges and know who we are? Naruto chuckled darkly again. No matter how well you henge, it won't mask your scent. I knew you two were in here from outside. The 2 Chunins grumbled under their breath and left the academy. Then all the genins rushed the stairs and headed upstairs. Sasuke turned to Naruto. What gives, man? Why did you help all these weak genin that couldn't see through it? Naruto shrugged. It doesn't really matter. Now we can use them as cannon fodder during the rest of the exam. Plus they will distract other teams and the proctors better. The 3 then went upstairs and walked through the large double doors into room 301. Before them were well over 100 genin, and directly before them were the rookie 9. Some Miss Nin across the room called to Naruto. That blade. It's Momochi Zabuza's. Demon of the hidden mist. How did you get it? Naruto found the person who yelled to him and yelled back. Well, he kind of snarled. How do you think I got it? I killed him. It never hurt to have a badass rep, right? The same stupid Nin yelled back. Bullshit. No genin could kill him. He wiped out an entire genin class before he was even a shinobi, and he plotted to overthrow the Kage and Council of Kirigakure. Naruto whipped the blade from his shoulder and in an instant it was leveled straight at the Nin. If you doubt it so much, I will be glad to send you along to ask him yourself. Naruto officially had the attention of everyone in the room. Along with the rookie 9, Kiba had to come and ask questions. Sasuke, who's the freak? And where's Naruto? Don't tell me the idiot got killed and replaced already? Naruto heard Kiba perfectly and turned around. You talking about me, dog boy? Kiba glared at him. Yeah, you the freak that replaced that idiot Uzumaki? Naruto pulled off his entire cloak, hood and all, revealing all of his features, minus the ears and tail which he kept hidden. I am that idiot, you dumb mutt. Now watch who you insult before I neuter you. Kiba laughed. Oh yeah? And what's an idiot like you gonna do about it? Sasuke jumped between the two. That would be an incredibly stupid last thing to do, Kiba. The day after we got out of the academy, Naruto put Sakura in the ICU of the hospital for a week when she wouldn't stop insulting him. And you're a guy, I imagine they wouldn't find your remains. Kiba shivered and noticed that Naruto's slit crimson eyes were glaring at him. He gulped a, "Alright, I'm sorry, I guess." Naruto continued to glare at him. "You're damn right you're sorry." Just then a man walked over to them. He was dressed in purple shirt and pants. He had white hair and round glasses on. "You guys should keep it down. Since you're the rookies, I'm gonna give you some help." "And how's that?" Sasuke asked. The white-haired man whipped out a deck of cards. "You see, I have these cards. On them I have information about every single candidate here, from mission stats to areas of expertise. You guys got anyone you want some dirt on?" Gaara of Suna, Naruto said. Someone else called Naruto Uzumaki. "Alright, first Gaara." He pulled out a card and started channeling chakra into it. "Let's see. I don't have a lot of info on him. He specializes in ninjutsu. He's done 75 D ranks, 15 C ranks, and 2 B ranks. And get this, he's never gotten a scratch on him." Shikamaru called out from the group. "The dude's done 2 B ranks and never been scratched? Troublesome." Kabuto pulled out another card. "Naruto Uzumaki specializes in ninjutsu and taijutsu. He's done 57 D ranks, and WHO in A rank. It says that his team broke the record for most D ranks done in a day. The old record was 10 by the Yondaime himself. His team did 30 in one day. It also says he has 2 aliases, Demon Slayer and Demon of Konoha. It says that during the A-rank mission his entire squad was incapacitated, including Hatake Kakashi, and he single-handedly took out Zabuza Momochi, and a 200-plus man army of armed thugs and mercenaries, whom seems he also." Just then there was a large plume of smoke at the front of the room and a man appeared, and behind him 20 more men appeared. The man had a long black leather trench coat on, and he had a black bandana on his head. "Alright. My name's Ibiki Marino. I'm the proctor for the first exam, and for the next 90 minutes you're mine." Time skip. 90 minutes. That test is boring as shit. Everyone cheats. Naruto uses his superb vision to cheat off people multiple rows ahead of him. "Sorry, I just hate writing a page full of useless shit." Right as Ibiki was explaining the purpose for the exam, a black blur smashed through the window and a banner was pinned to the ceiling with 2 kunai, and Mitarashi Enko appeared before them all. Naruto was flabbergasted. "Enko, you're the second proctor?" Right as he said it, Enko flung a kunai across the room that sliced the side of Naruto's neck, causing a small spurt of blood. Naruto for his part didn't move the tiniest bit when she threw it. Naruto chuckled. "You know, the point of all that target practice was so you could actually hit the target." Enko cocked her head to the side. "Oh, was it?" She flung another kunai straight at Naruto. It speared through the air at high speed. Naruto brought his hand up in one swift move and snatched the kunai out of the air, and threw it back at Enko without anyone in the room, short of Sasuke, seeing his arm even move. All they knew was 1 second the kunai was heading for Naruto's heart. The next second Enko jumped to the side and that same kunai speared into the wall handle deep, splitting the wood in the wall decently. Naruto grinned. "You didn't think I was trying my hardest in all those fights, did you?" Naruto glanced around and noticed everyone in the room was staring at him, open-mouthed. Seems I have something on my face or something. Everyone seems to be interested in me. Perhaps you should continue with what you need." to Enko. Ibiki gave Enko a questioning look. "You know him, Enko?" Enko nodded. "Yeah, he's my new best buddy. And sparring partner." "Right, I'm Mitarashi Enko, proctor of the second exam. Follow me to the Forest of Death. Get there in 10 minutes or you fail." Enko took off out the window, some kids following, some kids taking the door. Naruto followed her, and caught up pretty soon. "So, you were never even trying your hardest?" she asked. Naruto shrugged. "Well, that's not true. There were definitely times when I was trying pretty damned hard. It's just you're no Zabuza, no offense." "None taken, that man was a beast. Why did you stop that second kunai though?" "I thought we could make a good show. I figured all that blood and violence would help weed out the scaredy cats. And if not, the way you didn't even flinch at the kunai was great. I'll bet every genin is scared to hell of you." Naruto turned to the side and looked at Enko. "I don't think I needed a kunai in my chest or neck to make them scared of me. I mean, if I remember correctly, even you were a bit scared when you first saw me." Enko frowned. "Well, no shit. You look like the damn Kyuubi." Naruto grinned. "Ah, thanks for the compliment." Naruto and Enko arrived at the forest fencing way before anyone else, and they had a good few minutes before anyone got there. Enko shrugged. "So, what you wanna do while we wait for the others?" Naruto gave her a knowing smirk. "No. I know you probably wanna cut me up some more, but I think I'm covered in the scars department." Enko gave him her best puppy dog eyes. "Well, there's only 3 things I'm a big fan of, since you don't want to get cut. And I don't see any dango around here. That only leaves one thing, men. The only man I see around here is you, Naruto." Naruto suddenly found out he was capable of blushing, and his eyes also widened considerably. "You want to get into that stuff? You do realize I'm 13, right?" Enko smiled, all too seductively at him. "You're the one who said it. That means you're thinking it, which means you're interested. And I know you're only 13 on the outside, but the only thing 13 about you is your height." Naruto frowned at Enko. "That doesn't change the fact that you're a lot older than me." Enko stifled a mock gasp and slapped him upside the head. "I'll have you know I'm only 23. Don't even think about calling me old." Naruto laughed. "Exactly. You're a flat 10 years older than me. You don't think that's weird?" Enko laughed. "You say that as if you and I aren't the weirdest 2 people in this village. Who cares if what we do is weird? Naruto sighed. Despite his better judgment, he couldn't come up with anything to stop a willing woman who was hot. Fine, but nothing past making out, not like we have more than a couple minutes before people show up. Enko mentally cheered. Knew I would win him. Now to keep him, she grinned at him and leaned in and planted her lips over his. Naruto's eyes widened in shock for a second, then went back to normal, and closed, taking in the feeling. Sure, he knew her lips would be soft, but damn, he was not expecting this. He liked it, and he liked it a lot, and he wanted more, he needed more. He wasn't sure how, or why, but he seemed to know exactly what to do, whether it was Kyuubi sending him mental knowledge, or his new demonic instincts. Let's say animals kiss and have foreplay, Cause I don't have shit to explain this. Naruto growled hungrily into Enko's mouth. She gasped slightly at his forwardness, but parted her lips anyway, and granted him the all-access pass. LOL. Naruto instantly seized the moment, and dove into her mouth with his tongue, and at the same time backed her up against a large fence surrounding the forest. He pressed her back against the fence, and started to explore her mouth with his tongue. Despite never ever being hugged before, he seemed to know every little thing to do, and Enko was not complaining. His tongue danced around hers, the two twisting and turning in a battle of lust. Naruto made a mental note that surprisingly, Enko's mouth tasted not of dango, but of mint. Their battle of the tongues continued, changing which mouth it took place in every few moments, and Naruto's hands began to roam. They had been behind her neck, and they slowly dropped to her shoulders, then a bit further until they landed on the sizable that lay under her trench coat and fishnet shirt. He began to message her through the trench coat, slowly kneading the soft flesh in his hands. He felt her harden through her coat, and he maneuvered his hands and brushed the front of her trench coat open, revealing her small dark pink areola. And protruding. Naruto's hands again went back to her, cupping them from below while rolling her between his thumb and forefinger, which earned him an incredible moan from Enko. Naruto's instincts were just about to take his hands further south, to enter the Forbidden Land, when Sasuke and Sakura arrived. They saw the two, and realized just what they were watching happen, and Sasuke showed that he was in fact hetero. He got a sizable nosebleed, that he quickly hid with a hinge. Sakura, on the other hand, gasped and fainted on the spot. Naruto and Enko quickly stopped what they were doing, regrettably. They were both enjoying it a lot and lost track of time and location. Enko quickly pulled her trench coat back in place and attempted to will her back into a non-excited state, and failed, leaving her trench coat with two new decorative additions, which she was forced to hide with a hinge. Naruto didn't really have much to redo, or get rid of, besides the trail of combined saliva down his chin. He went over to see if Sakura was okay, and was glad to see she had only fainted. He took off his jacket and put it under her head for a makeshift pillow. He then turned to Sasuke, who still looked fairly shocked. Naruto chuckled. So, you really are straight after all. You had me unsure for a while there, Sasuke. Sasuke narrowed his eyes at Naruto but said nothing. More kids started to show up, and most gave them strange looks, seeing as they had a passed-out kunoichi before the exam even began. After about 5 more minutes, Sakura finally stirred and opened her eyes. She didn't expect to see the burning crimson eyes of Naruto staring down at her, and a distinctly Sakura eep escaped her lips. Naruto smiled down at her. Welcome back to the real world, Sakura. Sorry about that. That wasn't supposed to go that far. Sakura's eyes widened in realization that what she saw wasn't a dream, then narrowed. Naruto, why were you doing that with her? Naruto shrugged. I honestly don't know. We had nothing to do for a few minutes. She suggested it, and well, it just happened. Sakura wasn't exactly pleased with his answer, but before she could respond, Enko declared the waiting period over. Okay, the 10 minutes are up. Any team who isn't here yet is disqualified. Now then, the second part of the exam is a survival test. You have 5 days to get the scroll you need from another team. Then you have to make it to the tower in the center of the forest. Each team will be given either an earth or heaven scroll. You must find the one you need to complete your set of both scrolls to go to the tower. Enko walked throughout the genins while handing out papers. You must sign these papers to get your scroll. They waive us of any fault if you die in this part of the exam. Killing is allowed from here on out. Everyone signed their forms and handed them in, and all the teams were given their scrolls and went to the starting gates. Enko got an evil glint in her eye. One last piece of advice for all of you. If you want to live through this, don't fight Naruto-kun. Naruto yelled from his gate. What the hell, Enko? Don't scare them away. Just then a green light lit up above all the gates and they slammed open. All the genin flew from their spots into the forest, beginning the second exam. 45 minutes into the exam, Naruto had already tracked down and beaten a group of Miss Nin, the idiot who said he couldn't have beaten Zabuza. Much to Naruto's pleasure, they were also carrying the scroll Team 7 needed. They immediately began heading for the tower in the center at top speed. After sprinting for about an hour, they were suddenly blasted by a huge gust of wind, which blew Sasuke into a tree, knocking him out. A moment later, a grass Nin came out of the woods. Kakuku, I've been waiting to meet you, Naruto-kun. The ninja spoke in a creepy voice, and had an even creepier laugh. Naruto sniffed the air. You smell familiar. Like Enko. Realization slapped Naruto in the face. It couldn't be, could it? The grass Nin laughed again. Have you figured it out already, Naruto-kun? Naruto took up a fighting stance and turned to Sakura. Sakura, take Sasuke and leave. Now get to the tower and wait for me. I'll catch up to you before too long. Sakura looked at him with concern written all over her face, but not now. Get out of here, he yelled. Sakura jumped over to Sasuke's limp form and picked him up and jumped away, throwing one last concerned glance at Naruto over her shoulder. Once they were far enough away, Naruto spoke. So, Orochimaru, what the hell are you doing here? And what the hell do you want from me? Orochimaru laughed evilly and pulled off the fake face he had on, revealing his own pale skin and yellow eyes. I'm here for you, Naruto-kun. Your body is immortal. It is the perfect vessel for me to complete my immortality jutsu. Naruto growled deeply at him. That's so? Come and get it. Pervert snake. Naruto brought Kubikiri Hocho out in a defensive stance and got ready, though deep down he knew he was completely screwed if Orochimaru wanted to. Even with his one tail of power, he was no match for a Sannin. Orochimaru shot a handful of snakes at Naruto from the sleeves of his shirt. They rocketed towards Naruto but never made contact. Naruto chopped all of their heads off with one large sweep off his blade. Kukuku, it seems you're fairly skilled with that blade, Naruto-kun. Naruto smirked. Care to come closer and find out how good I really am? Orochimaru nodded. Well, fuck, I was hoping he wouldn't say no. Orochimaru was in front of Naruto faster than he could blink. He knocked the Zanbato from his hand and into a nearby tree. He lashed out with his tongue of all things and wrapped it around Naruto's neck and lifted him a few feet off the ground. Kukuku, you may be skilled, Naruto-kun, but no matter how much training you have, you can't hope to match me. Now I will give you a parting gift that will bring you to my side in the future. Orochimaru replaced his tongue around his neck with his left hand, still holding Naruto off the ground. He then moved his jacket out of the way and sunk his fangs into the back of Naruto's right shoulder. Naruto was instantly hit with the largest wave of pain he'd ever felt in his life. What the hell did you do, team? Orochimaru just laughed more. I just gave you a parting gift. I'll see you soon, Naruto-kun. He then disappeared into a plume of smoke and disappeared. Naruto grit his teeth and fought his way through the pain and headed towards the tower in the center. Kyuubi, what the hell is this thing? And why does it hurt so much? It's some kind of curse seal. It's designed to give you great power, and at the same time corrupt your mind so you become Orochimaru's completely loyal subordinate. And it hurts so much because right now it's attempting to root itself into your chakra coils and mind. But I'm not going to give it the chance. Snake bastard wants to toy with us, does he? Naruto grimaced. How exactly do why you plan to stop it? The pain caused him to stammer. I'm flooding it with my chakra, completely destroying everything about it. It will be completely gone in just a while. Naruto grunted in pain and started off towards the tower. Naruto ignored the pain as best as he could and pushed on towards the tower. He got there and landed next to his teammates, standing outside the doors. It's good to see you're awake. Sasuke nodded back to Naruto. Good to see you didn't die. Naruto chuckled, and then grimaced in pain again. You ain't getting rid of me that easily. Now let's get in there and get this shit over with. Team 7 walked through the doors and opened their scrolls, and Iruka of all people appeared. Okay, Iruka, what the hell are you doing here? Naruto asked, and once again grimaced in severe pain. Iruka looked over at Naruto and nearly had a heart attack. After he steadied himself, he spoke. I'm here to congratulate you 3 on completing the second part of the exam, and you completely smashed the old record of 23 hours, 42 minutes. You guys got here in 2 hours and 18 minutes. Naruto shrugged. We would have gotten here like 45 minutes sooner if Orochimaru didn't decide to pop up. Iruka's eyes widened and he gasped slightly. Alright. Well, you guys can go through those doors behind me. You have the rest of the 5 days to rest and get ready. If you'll excuse me, I have to go. Iruka then disappeared in a plume of smoke. Naruto spent the next 3 days in incredible pain while the curse seal was being broken down and removed. On the morning of the 4th day, Kyuubi finally finished working on it, and the pain ceased. Naruto-kun, it's finally done. The curse seal's been removed. Naruto mentally thanked Kami for the pain stopping. Oh good, I was beginning to think I was going to go crazy from the pain. Naruto grunted and went over to the mirror in the bathroom and lowered his jacket from his shoulder, just to double check for himself, and sure enough the seal was gone. Only 2 scars from the bastard's teeth remained. I'm just glad the damn thing is gone. We both are, Naruto-kun. That damn thing wanted to try and lock me away from you. Naruto, happy with his lack of pain and new seal as shoulder, lounged for the last 2 days waiting for everyone to get there. On the afternoon of the 5th day, all of the teams that could pass had arrived. Everyone gathered in the central arena at the center of the tower. When they were there, Jounin came out and made an announcement. Since we still have too many participants to start the 3rd exam, we are going to hold preliminary matches to thin the numbers enough for the 3rd exam. Your name will be picked at random and displayed on the scoreboard. The 2 called will come to the arena and fight until one or the other is unable to continue, or is dead. The first match came up as Shikamaru vs Sakura, which ended up becoming a battle of the brains. Sakura ended up getting beaten by Shikamaru by him using his Kage main no jutsu to hold her own kunai to her throat and forced her to surrender. The next match was Temari of Suna vs Kin from Sound. The battle was extremely one-sided as Kin's Samban with bells couldn't even reach Temari with her wind jutsus. She just blew everything she had back at her and eventually sent her flying into the wall, knocking her out. The 3rd match was Kiba vs Ino. Ino did much better than people were expecting her to do. She ended up tricking Kiba long enough to use her Shintonshin no jutsu on him. But once she took over his body, Akamaru jumped over to Ino's body and was ready in a moment's notice to tear out her throat, and Ino had a kunai to Kiba's throat. Eventually Ino started running out of chakra and had to end the jutsu, and she lost. The battle wasn't nearly as exciting as it sounds. The fourth match was Hinata vs Niji. Niji toyed with her mind and broke her down slowly, tormentingly, and then knocked her out. It was less of a match, and more of a torture session. Naruto was hoping against hope that he would get to fight Gaara, and was less than happy when he was paired up against Zaku from Sound.